Mm, as long as it's okay, though. I mean,
Yeah, no. Incidentally, we're like a minute late because my power just fluctuated for a sec, so that was fun. Also,
yep.
Natsu's not here yet. I don't know where he is, but he's not here. He said he was gonna be
He
here, but
probably
he's not yet. So I don't know.
passed it on the couch.
I don't know if he's asleep or dead or what, but he's not here right this second. So hey, never mind. There he is.
Hello there.
He's just late.
There's the correct audio cue.
He barely made it.
He's 2 minutes late. He didn't make it in time.
Oh yeah, he didn't make it in time. Sorry.
I've been sitting at my computer for like 10 minutes and I get distracted looking at my phone.
That's okay. As I was telling them, I was distracted with modding.
I'm waiting for a DoorDash order to come in with my food. And I was just like, come on, show up so I can go run up and get my food. And I looked over, I was like, oh god, it's one after.
Well,
Panicked.
well, what you missed was everybody getting kicked from the game because my power fluctuated for like a split second, and knocked out my internet for like literally 20 seconds.
Okay.
You missed that.
So that was fun.
He,
But fortunately, the stream wasn't live yet at that point. So
Yay.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a good thing we weren't live at the time.
I mean,
Oh, hey, my food's dropped off.
technically it was. I just hadn't hit the like I was supplying the video to YouTube, but I hadn't hit the go live button yet. So like, it was live, but also it wasn't.
so what you're saying is it was a zombie stream.
What I'm saying is I have 115 dropped frames, but
Oh,
other than that, we're good.
that's a lot of frames to lose.
No, 115 is like nothing. You gotta remember, it's like 60 frames a second, so that's less than 2
Oh, true.
seconds.
I mean, it just sounds like a lot.
So
Hi, Pumpernickel. Yeah, say the vets are very surprised that you're so good.
yeah, I mean, she looks like she would be an evil cat. Where do they get
They
that
meant
from?
with her diagnosis that it's kind of surprising she's still
Alive.
doing well.
Ah, Willow's Wi-Fi is also being weird. Yes, but did
Ah.
your power fucking just
Fluctuate.
nearly die for a second?
Something got
Because like I definitely had like a momentary brownout. It was very fun. It was enough to like knock out my Wi-Fi for a couple seconds, but it didn't do anything to my computer setup because of my UPS. So you don't have a UPS, don't you lie to me. Pretty sure you never got around to buying one of those. It did shut off your TV though. Ah, fun.
I think she wasn't saying same to having the UPS.
Probably just same to the power out or brownout case.
Hucky ducky. This time on last time. As I don't know, play Battle of the Old Timers? Sure. Ahem. Previously, with the stream now a bit over 40 minutes in, and Willow having needed to clean a sizable amount of water off of her monitor due to the recap, the session finally begins with the group standing around the back entrance to Flim Cargo as Natsu describes all of the dumb bullshit he's going to do once it's no longer required for him to perform Natsu things, trademark. Having then transitioned into reminiscing about all the good times they had with Raptor Sarge prior to Celasta falling to shit literally seconds before the finish line, the group quotes some of his greatest one-liners at each other before violently kicking in the rear entrance door and storming the warehouse. Upon entering into the building, the group flip on a nearby light switch to get rid of the damn dark of war that was coating everything and find that the cacophony of angry snarling they heard the session prior was actually coming from a quintet of doglins named Snap, Gristle, Snarl, Ripper, and Cuddleface. One of these things doesn't feel like it fits in here. Having long been on edge from the scent of the sizable pool of blood Sarge had left just out of their just just out of there. The angry pack of doglins swarm as one towards the nearest target they can sink their fangs into, which just happens to be the group's heel bot, because of course. Well, balls. Anyone want to help out with the pentagram of angry doglins I'm surrounded by? Fireball? No, they have too high a chance to resist it. Not worth burning the slot for it. But fireball always worth it. That's the thing though, Sarge. I am the fireball. Single-handedly rips through every single doglin in a single turn with nothing but his trident and raw muscle. This shit, Natsu. Going crazy and violently bludgeoning everything to death once is my job. With Karlak now left pissed at Natsu taking her job, and the others left stunned in awe that Natsu can apparently just do that, the group take a moment to collect themselves before fanning out to comb through the warehouse for clues. Not long into their search, the group happened to stumble into a secret hatch hidden beneath a stack of crates that leads into a basement with an almost strange amount of metal pipes running through it, and prison cells lining the walls. Since shit like this is just weird no matter how you look at it, Inu climbs up into the cells to look for any clues at what the fuck this place is even for, and ends up finding a note from Gortash that was addressed to his personal Sawagan Wrangler that he apparently has for some reason, asking him to kindly reconsider his demands to have his payment doubled, lest he have to be persuaded into agreeing with Gortash's feelings on the matter. And seeing as how this letter was found on an pile of bones inside of a secret prison cell, it seems a safe bet that the two never reached an agreement here. With the rest of the secret cells in the decaying prison not having much to help pin down the nature of the place aside from being where Gortash apparently shoved employees who wanted fairer wages, the group scan around for any additional ways out, which leads to them finding a giant set of metal doors and a crumpled wall leading to a, quote, greasy, smelly climb down. As Inu contemplates which of the two ways forward the group should take, Natsu asks him to take a look at a tattered note he managed to dig up from the nearby rubble, which contains detailed diagrams for building a secret underwater research base off the coast of the nearby harbor, which just immediately throws Bio for a loop because how the fuck even? This utterly ridiculous information now in mind, Inu opts to head through the giant steel doors instead of jumping into the greasy stink pit, and to everyone's shock enters into a room with an actual fucking submarine dock in the dead center of the room, which now throws everyone for a loop because how in the actual fuck does Gortash have a functioning submarine in this setting? With it now being abundantly clear that Holly did in fact get run over by a motorboat, but did not in fact get run over by a motorboat, but by a literal goddamn submarine, the group sprint into the room and begin demanding answers to how the fuck from the submarine's pilot, because why the fuck is this a thing? Only to become
Small
even...
interruption.
Huh?
Natsu should be back. Apparently his computer decided to completely carry itself and do an update at the same time.
Oh my god, everybody. Harry
Harry.
Carry.
Whatever.
That's what like Hagrid did when Harry died for a little while in the Battle of Hogwarts, right? Was a Harry carry?
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Even become even more confused when their characters are somehow able to instantly understand they are looking at a fucking submarine, despite this being such advanced technology that their heads should probably explode just from looking at it. Desperately wanting to just not think about any of what is going on right now, Inu heads over to the submersible's captain, a dwarf named Redhammer, and Bard poses his way into declaring that Gortash just appointed his character as the new waterway inspector, and that he, by extension, needs to be told everything about the secret operation down here so he can inspect the waterways. Taking a second to process the obvious bullshit he was just told, Redhammer decides it's better for himself to just not know, and begins explaining that the Umberlee servants from the Water Temple are making the trip down to the secret underwater research base harder than it needs to be, because they keep swimming in front of the submarine by accident. After then nonchalantly mentioning that he might have definitely did run over one of the Umberlee servants by mistake the other day, rip Holly, Redhammer is quick to explain after a minuscule amount of prodding from Inu that the secret underwater research station, called the Iron Throne, is actually a secret underwater Ultramax prison that Gortash shoves his highest value hostages into in order to further his political goals, such as a bunch of random Gondians that he keeps on hand to force the remaining Gondians into manufacturing his Steel Watcher army. With this not at all surprising revelation that Barkis's friend Bongal is just a racist genocidal maniac with no leg to stand on now behind them, Natsu decides to give a different not at all surprising revelation by saying that the submarine here is what ran over Holly, something Bio had already said during the stream about 4 minutes prior, and that all of the Umberly servants thought it was just some kind of monster because why would anyone in this setting know what a damn submarine is? Since secret underwater Ultramax prison is just not something you can hear without immediately having a billion follow-up questions, Inu informs Red Hammer that he and the group will need to see this Iron Throne firsthand as part of his waterways inspection, which is such a stupidly obvious lie that Red Hammer doesn't even bother to play along with it. Fortunately, though, Red Hammer is still amiable to the idea of taking everyone down to the Iron Throne because Gortash is an asshole and tells everyone to hop into the sub because he wasn't about to pass up a chance to potentially fuck over that bastard's plans. Now on their way through the planet core to visit Gunga City, the group awkwardly sit around in the back of the submarine until they finally catch sight of the Iron Throne ahead of them, which cues a very pissed off Gortash to suddenly phone in on his Star Wars hologram video phone to ask why the fuck the group are snooping around the secret underwater Ultramax prison he keeps all of his most valuable hostages at. So, can't help but notice that you lot are exactly where you shouldn't be, and here I thought we were friends. I'm here for a waterway inspection? Right, forgot who I was talking to for a moment. Let me put this in simpler terms so even you can understand. Leave, or I will detonate the prison and everyone inside of it. Oh, come on, he's obviously bluffing. These are his hostages in there, so he has literally zero reason to actually go through with giant explosion as the Iron Throne begins to self-destruct. For what possible reason? With everyone now immensely confused over why the actual fuck Gortash would go through with killing his own political hostages and losing all of the leverage they gave him, their confusion is only further increased when Omelette, of all people, squid phones in out of nowhere to inform Natsu that Will's dad is presently inside of the exploding prison and that the group need to get moving immediately if they want to get Raven Guard out. With a very large counter now popping up on screen to inform the group that they only have 6 fucking turns before the prison is destroyed, everyone begins to haul ass into the prison dock's airlock so Natsu could juice them up with a potion of speed, only to discover that he was the only one of them to not be put into the same group initiative as the others. With that plan now a bust because Natsu isn't allowed to do cool things, Inu pans the camera around through the prison to find out what cell Duke Ravengard is being held in so the group can jump down from the airlock to start cutting a path through the Sawagans that apparently run this place. Guess that would explain why Gortash needed a professional Sawagan wrangler then. It's at this point that Natsu begins to run in a different direction from the others, which confuses the hell out of Inu until Natsu explains that the reason Omelette was able to squid phone him to say the group needed to rescue Ravengard is because Omelette is also being kept prisoner down here, and Natsu sure as hell wasn't about to let him go down with the place. As the group continue to work out their plan of attack for getting Omelette and Ravengard out of here, Sarge and El go about flipping a few cell levers in the main room everyone dropped into, which allows one Obelia Tubin and a couple other random Gondians to climb up to safety in the submarine. Omelette now spotted on the map, Natsu begins making his way through the rapidly flooding southern end of the prison and releases a couple more hostages along the way while the rest of the group discuss how stupid it was of Gortash to actually go through with killing all of his hostages, since it means the Gondians building his army of robots now have zero reason to continue building said robot army. Before they have the chance to ponder on this for long, the group are caught off guard when some half a dozen Sawagans suddenly start to burst their way into the prison through the numerous holes that were made from the initial set of detonation charges. As Inu then takes a moment to scan around the area to see where the new fishmen were stationed, Sarge happens to notice that the camera panned past some type of mechanism in a nearby room that for whatever reason looked nearly identical to a Star Trek warp engine core, which confused the absolute hell out of him and Bio as to what the fuck level of technology Gortash has been creating. With everything new they learn about this secret underwater Ultramax prison doing nothing but confusing the absolute fuck out of them, the group do their best to put any questions about how out of their mind as Inu and Sarge make their way to Ravengard's cell, only for the game to start being a pedantic ass about spell ranges and sightlines again, when it refuses to let Sarge Eldritch blast a Sawagan that was very clearly within his line of sight, simply because he was technically on the other side of a massive set of opened doors at the time. Not having the luxury of time to waste, Natsu opts to ignore the annoyed grumblings caused by the bullshit his friends were dealing with, as he instead effortlessly cleaves his way through a trio of Sawagan that had suddenly spawned in front of the hostages he just rescued, and continues on with his solo mission to extract Omelette. With Natsu running his solo mission to get Omelette and Sergeant Inu teaming up to find Will's dad, Elle takes it upon herself to charge the west side of the prison to save the remaining half-dozen Gondians herself, only to be stopped in her tracks when the Sawagan guards hit her with the most powerful of all binding spells. Tiny Net! With Elle now functionally immobilized for the whole turn because not even Karlak is strong enough to overcome the power of a tiny net, the action switched back to Inu and Sarge's end of the prison, which leads Bio to point out his sudden realization that the absolute dumbass Floric was going to feel even stupider than she already is should the group actually manage to get out of here alive with Will's dad in tow. Quick laugh at Floric's expense now over, the turn lapses back to Natsu's side as he finds himself just outside Omelette's cell with a massive steel door barring his entry inside. Not wanting to waste time searching around for a potential mechanism to open the door, Natsu instead opts to just smash the damn thing open, only for Inu to discover seconds after Natsu's attempt to bash it open that the door can only take damage from something that hits it with a minimum of 50 damage worth of force. Natsu was less than pleased to hear this. Now scrambling to find some other way to open the door, Natsu is thankfully able to locate the lever for it after knocking over some nearby crates, only to find that the door does not have enough natural movement remaining, or he does not have enough natural movement remaining to make it to the chair Omelette is tied to and untie him this turn. Without much else he can do, a desperate Natsu attempts to cast Mage Hand so he could untie Omelette from a distance, only to annoyedly realize after the fact that the summoned Mage Hand acts on a separate turn order from himself, and that said turn order takes place before his, and as it wasn't enough, the game added insult to injury by making the Mage Hand share a turn initiative with the others, but not Natsu. That plan being a bust for the time being, the round switches back over to the unfortunately still restrained Elle, who finds herself so low on potential actions that in order to prevent her turn from being totally wasted, she's forced to blow up the rapidly approaching Sawagans using the grenade she'd been saving to use on Natsu later. With Natsu now hopefully being less likely to be exploded by his own teammate at some indeterminate point in the future, things once again switch back to Sergeant Inu's side of things, just as they make it into the room containing Ravengard along with a couple Gondian hostages. Before he or Sarge has a chance to release the prisoner, however, an idea suddenly flashes to Inu's mind which prompts him to drop a save before attempting to use the group's prior learned knowledge of door levers to shoot the damn things with a trio of Eldritch Blasts in place of arrows. Thankfully, for the group's rapidly shrinking time limit, this spur-of-the-moment plan turns out to actually work out for once, as the homing punch missiles quickly strike their targets just as solidly as an arrow would, which allows Inu to open all 3 cells at once for the price of only a single attack. Before the group has a chance to celebrate this stroke of brilliance, however, Natsu is quick to chime in with a frantic warning to save the group some time on something they would have discovered soon regardless, and informs everyone that evidently Missouri is presently mind-slaving Ravengard to get back at Will for letting his devil contract expire, and is kind of omega pissed that the group just broke him out of prison. As if this wasn't already obvious from Ravengard mumbling, "It's her, the devil who took my son," accompanied by Missouri demonically laughing from off-screen as soon as the trio of cells were opened. Now aware that Missouri is both an incredibly sore loser and is also about to swarm Inu and Sarge with exploding demonic hell spiders, Inu quickly reloads the safety save he made a moment ago so that Sarge could blast the cells open instead, so that Inu could preemptively send Ravengard into the sanctuary dimension. Before this plan can be followed through on, however, Natsu puts out the suggestion of potentially using a dimension door scroll as well to drag Ravengard's slow ass most of the way back to the submarine automatically, which leads to him magically dumping a bunch of speed potions into Sarge's backpack from the opposite end of the prison. Best not to think about how that works, so he and Inu can tweak the fuck out. As you'd expect by this point, with anything involving the potion throw mechanic, however, things simply do not work for reasons that simply do not exist, when the speed potion the Sarge very clearly threw at Inu's feet somehow didn't register as being close enough to do anything, despite him obviously being in range of it from both the visual animation and Sarge's aiming reticle. At least Natsu can take some solace in the fact that it isn't only him. Having now reloaded again, because potion throwing is an ass, Sarge is able to get shit to actually function this time, which allows Inu to successfully grab Ravengard and bamf the fuck out back into the hallway. Before Inu has the opportunity to cast Sanctuary on Ravengard, however, a very butthurt Missouri suddenly bamps in from a hell portal to complain about Will not choosing to be a dumbass for once, as she then summons a bunch of the prior warned exploding hell spiders and commands the still unsanctuaried Ravengard to walk straight into them. Since Missouri didn't stick around to make sure the job was actually finished, though, the still tweaked out of his mind Inu is able to just flip around and cast Cure Wounds on Ravengard to make him essentially spider-proof as soon as Missouri had bamfed back to hell. Ravengard now all but secured, things roll back over to Natsu's side once again, as it's revealed the mage hand he cast the prior turn was apparently too stupid to even know how to undo simple leather restraints, which causes an annoyed Natsu to snap the thing back to the ether it spawned from before then whipping around and beheading an approaching Sawagan that had just entered the room. Minor annoyances now dealt with, Natsu heads over to untie Omelette from his chair and proceeds to collect a preemptive payment for his rendered services by stealing literally everything out of his pockets on the spot. Just because he was helping from the kindness of his heart does not mean he wasn't still on real Natsu things hours. Pockets now filled with a bunch of bloodborne-ass sounding nonsense, such as recipes to make distilled cerebrospinal fluid. Natsu begins to sprint his ass up to the west wing of the prison to help out Karlak, while a confused Omelette wonders what the hell just happened. After then taking a moment to marvel at just how truly abysmal Ravengard's movement range is, even when hasted, Natsu snaps back into paying attention once he realizes that he is actually the one in control of Omelette, which quickly leads to him discovering that the Squid Man happens to have a very situationally specific spell called Teleport to Submarine, which does exactly what you think it does. That neat party trick now tucked away for later, Karlak finally manages to free herself from the deadly scourge that is the tiny net, and gets to work on opening the cells in the west wing, only for her attempt to throw something to trigger the cell lever at the opposite end of the room from herself to just not fucking work, for reasons no one really understands. With it now largely agreed that even with their cells having been opened, basically everyone from the west wing's cells are pretty much guaranteed to die because of that damn tiny net, Natsu decides to read through the names of the likely soon-to-be departed so he can at least inform their loved ones of their fate, only to immediately give up and burst into laughter upon noticing the first Gondian he checked was literally called Zumbo Pumbo. With the West Wing now all but doomed, the turn once again shifts back to Inu and Sarge's perspective, just in time to show Sarge doing his best to ensure the East Wing prisoners would also be doomed, when he elects to ignore all of the remaining Hell Spiders in the way of the remaining prisoners, so he could instead get his own ass safely back to the submarine. Inu was, of course, quick to grab him by the ankle and drag him back into the fight while cursing him for such blatant cowardice. As this buffoonery is going on, Natsu takes stock of which prisoners the group has saved so far to compare it to a list he looked up earlier, and begins to panic upon noticing that there seems to be a particularly important prisoner the group is yet to find. Everyone else now panicking because of Natsu's panicking, the group scour the north wing of the map in search of the seemingly missing prisoner, before eventually deciding they just don't have the time to worry about it anymore, and prioritize getting themselves and the prisoners they've already found back to the submarine. On his way back, though, Natsu decides he's at least earned himself a little treat for the work he put in to get Omelette back, and decides to use his squid powers to literally tear open a fucking black hole to vacuum together all the Sawagan that had made it to the main room of the prison, so that he could then, in turn around and cast giant fucking fireball in the target-rich environment he just created for himself. Unfortunately, though, Natsu sorta forgot about the whole everything being underwater thing, which leads to the giant clump of fishmen basically taking fuck all for damage from his giant fucking fireball, due to them all being absolutely soaked from the seawater they just swam through to get into the prison to begin with. If only he'd thought to hit them with unlimited power instead, and how is Natsu still not back, by the way?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Ravengard having now finally made his slow ass up to the submarine, Natsu once again finds himself in control of Omelette, as he contemplates whether he should just teleport him and Elle back up to the boat now, since he wasn't sure Karlak could make it back with only 2 turns remaining, which everyone is quick to call him an idiot for when they remind him that a normal turn of movement for Karlak involves her sprinting the length of a damn football field. Having been saved from the grave error that would have occurred from his folly and judgment, Natsu is quick to reassess the situation, and after a moment of thought, decides to make sure at least one of the prisoners from the West Wing makes it out alive, as he has Omelette fly over to a likely screaming Gondian named Saris Olsen to warp the two back to the submarine, while a despondent Zumbo Pumbo is left contemplating why life hates him so goddamn much. With Omelette now taking a seat next to Ravengard back on the sub, the group all begin to make their way back to safety, since there simply isn't anything left that they can do to help the remaining hostages that were left in the prison. Natsu, however, just doesn't have it in him to give up on the remaining prisoners without giving them a fighting chance, as he carves his way through all the Sawagans that remained nearby to the escape ladder before projecting his mind palace outwards towards the West Wing to hopefully grant them the ability to Mario Kart Double Dash. This doesn't quite work, however, as the Mind Palace ends up being too far back for the hostages to land in at the end of their natural sprint ranges, which leads to Inu reloading to give Natsu the chance to better position it, only for it to turn out that the AI is unfortunately too stupid to understand how to initiate a second dash. With the final hostage from Ravengard's wing of the prison having at least made it back to the submarine in time, the game cuts away to show Karlak, who was literally the first of the group to get back to the submarine, making it to the ladder just in time to escape the incoming flood, as she then climbs her way to the safety of the submersible. Then things take a weird turn when a freshly escaped Karlak takes a moment to get her bearings now that she's made it out of the flooding death pit, only to then do a double take and look around in an incredibly confused stupor upon noticing Ravengard and Omelette were now on the ship, which leads everyone to conclude that nobody bothered to tell her the two were even in the prison before she went charging off to the West Wing on her own. With Red Hammer now pulling the sub around to get everyone back to the docks, Emperor pipes in to say that some shit that nobody can be bothered to pay attention to anymore, which gives Natsu the opportunity to bring up how the group seems to have missed saving an important NPC named Odelia from the prison, who was important for the Steel Watcher Foundry quest, despite nobody having been able to find her down there for the life of them. Once Emperor finally realizes that nobody is paying attention to his yapping anymore, he annoyedly gets a move on by putting Ravengard under the same anti-absolute protective field as the group and the Tagalong crew, which causes him to stop being a brain-dead meat puppet and resume being an actual person again. Now himself again for the first time, and who even knows, Ravengard is quick to profusely thank the group on behalf of all the hostages they saved for what they did for them in the Iron Throne, and informs them that he'll be waiting at their camp to talk later after he's had a chance to wash up and eat some actual fucking food for once. It's at this point that Inu begins to crack up laughing over just how fucking pissed Missouri is going to be once Ravengard suddenly shows up at camp, which elicits a nervous chuckle from Natsu over how likely it is that he's sleeping on the couch tonight. Before anyone has a chance to make fun of Natsu over yet another of his character's romantic prospects seemingly being destroyed, the group finds themselves interrupted by a very incredibly mad Alandra suddenly screaming in their face out of nowhere. Guess she was still following Inu around to make sure he did his job after all, for reasons that apparently boil down to you used the big metal fish to save nearly a dozen people from dying instead of smashing it to pieces on sight. While this ordinarily wouldn't be such a bad situation to be caught, the group quickly realized that due to a singular moment of confusion, the one who Alandra was angrily screaming at was actually Sarge, since he went up the ladder before anyone else because he saw Red Hammer climb out first and thought he was someone else from the group. Oops. Since Sarge has zero knowledge of social cues due to him never being one of the talky people for the group, he of course immediately and with zero hesitation whatsoever throws Red Hammer under the bus and offers him up to be put to judgment by the Sea Queen so the angry lady will stop yelling at him. Well, with Red Hammer now having been unceremoniously dragged off in spite of the invaluable help he gave in saving most of the hostages from the Iron Throne, the group is quick to forget about his ass as they get back to figuring out what happened to that Odelia lady they were supposed to find for the Steel Watcher quest. Not sure whether or not they've accidentally screwed themselves by not finding Odelia among the Iron Throne's prisoners, the group confusion only continues to rise when Inu decides to start chatting with the freed prisoners and finds himself talking about all the Steel Watch stuff with Obelia Tubin instead. It's at this point where Bio decides to step in to prevent further headaches over the matter by pulling up a list of every NPC that was held prisoner in the Iron Throne to confirm that Odelia, Natsu kept seeing people talk about, was in fact the very same Obelia the group had just rescued, and that everyone he saw talking about her were just idiots who didn't know how to spell her name. That matter having finally been settled, Inu agrees to help Obelia in convincing the Gandhian workers in the Steel Watcher Foundry to rebel against Gortash, since, as a reminder, that utter dumbass just blew up every bit of leverage he had against them, and then begins heading around to chat with the other hostages the group saved. With the rest of the hostages turning out to just be basic NPCs of no importance, Inu shrugs and sits down on top of the evidently now broken submarine. I'm just going to assume Alondra probably did that before hauling off Redhammer, and begins to crack open the various books that Natsu stole from Omelet's pockets earlier. So Gortash's quest just got updated after all that? Apparently, now that we took his hostages, he fucking hates us with every fiber of his being, and any chance we had in an alliance is now lost. Oh no. What a tragedy. So that means we can stop pretending that we weren't going to stab the shit out of him and can actually stab the shit out of him now, right? Goddamn right we can! News of Gortash's imminent stabbing now relayed to the group, Inu continues his short bout of post-prison break story time, which ends with him reading through Redhammer's personal journal to find he was apparently building a clockwork escape kayak for in case he ever needed to get the fuck away from Gortash. Story time now over, Natsu wanders off on his own to go check how Omelet's doing back at the League of Decently Smart Guys, which Inu takes as an opportunity to use that greasy, smelly climb down that the group found earlier, which unsurprisingly leads him down to the sewers. Before Inu has a chance to begin scoping out the sewers in search of where Minsk and Jahira are hiding, he ends up finding the unconscious body of an enemy named Darrow Vin, collapsed in a heap nearby due to his evidently having slammed back like 50 Benadryls and getting inflicted with the impenetrable slumber status as a result. Not really sure what, if anything, to even do about the guy. The sewer-bound chunk of group just shrug and tiptoe past him, not to wake him from his unwakeable nap, so they can get a look at the sentient balls of grease that were living their best lives and blobbing it up further back in the sewers. With Inu having finished reading a letter from Nine Fingers that Karlak pilfered from the sleeping dude as she stepped over him, the game suddenly cuts away to Natsu at the Smart People Club, just as he finally found Omelet to have a chat with him. Giving a cheery hello to his squid friend, Natsu asks if... Hey, there's Natsu, speaking of. If Omelet didn't get too scrambled down there before the group's arrival, which leaves Omelet kind of confused over why the group went out of their way to save him in the first place. Kind of confused over why he'd even ask that, Natsu naturally responds by saying that Omelet is genuinely a pretty cool guy and that no one wanted to leave the best squid person they know to die like that. Somewhat taken aback to hear such an earnest reasoning as that for people putting their lives on the line to save his own, Omelet takes a moment to collect himself and hands Natsu a bag full of goodies that Omelet and his friends in the Smartness Club put together to thank the group for everything they did. Why can't he be the squid man who keeps showing up to interrupt our sleep every night? Without waving goodbye to the group's best squid friend, waving goodbye to the... Wow, where did without come from? Natsu begins to begin his trek into the sewers to join up with the others before he ends up stopping dead in his tracks to confusedly ponder over why the hell Inu's conglomeration of random classes doesn't have the magical capacity to use the TM for Solar Beam. With this enigma being better left to figure out by people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, i.e. not bio, the game cuts back to the others back in the sewers just as Karlak begins to dig up a bunch of buried treasure, only for everyone present to begin failing perception checks on every one of them. Seeing as locked chests littered with failed perception checks are very definitely not their area of expertise, the group wisely elect to not touch any of that shit until Natsu finally shows up so that he can do that whole subtlety thing and safely defuse the situation. After happening to open the only chest that actually had treasure in it as his first target, Natsu goes down the line to open the remaining chests too, because why not, and finds nothing but a series of increasingly rude notes that all insult whoever it was that happened to open up the wrong chests. What a dick. Feeling curious over what the hell kind of traps the dickhead who hid these chests even used, with the amount of shit talking he left in all those notes, Natsu decides to stroll up to the last chest in the back to flip the thing open without disarming it first, and subsequently finds himself sailing 15 feet backwards into a puddle of raw sewage for his troubles. Once Natsu's finished cleaning himself off, the group leave the chest zone to go start a fight with the nearby grease balls they sighted earlier, only to find that the things are actually totally passive and have no issues with letting the group walk by them to continue investigating the sewers. Making sure to carefully step over the trails of grease that were left underfoot, the group slowly make their way through a gigantic set of metal doors that happen to be nearby and find themselves stopping for a moment as another set of perception checks begin going off. Once someone with a functioning set of eyes finally walks into the room to figure out what all of the checks are for this time, a nearby chunk of loose rock is discovered to hide a fancy-looking key and a scroll of boxomancy beneath it, with said key belonging to a half-buried chest that Sarge nearly tripped over, not even 10 feet away. With everyone having now backed away from the fancy chest so Natsu can check it and not rip someone's arm off for touching the potential loot first, Inu wanders a bit further into the room while waiting for the loot results and ends up actually passing a perception check on his own for once. A fact that both he and Bio were nearly floored over, which leads to him finding another loose stone being used to hide some more valuables. After upending the errant rock, Inu finds it hiding a few random bits of crafting items along with a note from someone named Saren, of the non-indoctrinated kind, addressed to a couple of people named Alis and Bareki, that talks about how the three apparently just, at the time of the note's writing, stole some shit from Gortash and that Saren had to hide the spoils in the sewers to prevent the other two from spending them all in one place and drawing the scheming dickbag's attention. A few more upturned loose stones later, and the group continue onward into the nearby tunnel that was dug into the sewers, which leads them into a charge chamber containing a new warp point along with a huge door and someone labeled as Voiceless Penitent Bareki, so probably a safe bet that the two who were mentioned in the note were found out. Before anyone has a chance to see what happened to Bareki, however, the group find themselves kidnapped by a cutscene when Natsu accidentally got too close to the prior mentioned huge door, which leads to them quickly discovering that it was actually the entrance to the murder tribunal from the murder investigation side quest that had the jackass elephant in it. Seeing as they're already here and Natsu informs the creepy whisper lady behind the door that the group is definitely a bunch of unholy assassins of Baal who've already proven themselves to the tribunal, which summarily gets him told off by the creepy whisper voice for lying. Seeing as Natsu wasn't a cool enough dude to fake his way into the murder party, Inu opts to take a spin at the door as well, only to also not be able to lie his way in, since even with the rotting bag of hands the group looted from Delore forever ago in his pockets, the old lady on the other side of the door was still able to smell his bullshit and told him to fuck off. With entry into the murder tribunal from this route apparently being a bust, Inu and Natsu retreat from the door while flipping the old lady behind it off and make their way over to Bareki to see what's up with him. Bareki, however, if it wasn't obvious from the whole voiceless bit on his name tag, doesn't much feel like explaining what's up with himself and instead insistently points toward the wares he's selling anytime Inu asks a question, which is a signal that immediately garners Natsu's attention for what should be obvious reasons by now. After then taking a moment to still run through every single one of Bareki's useless dialogue options for no reason other than knowing it would piss Natsu off by delaying his access to a merchant's inventory, Inu leaves Bareki so that Natsu can do Natsu things, trademark, which reveals that Bareki actually had a sick-as-hell piece of druid armor in stock that literally no one could use anyways because prior experience taught them that being a druid is pain. With Natsu now preoccupied with his compulsive need to put every merchant in the Sword Coast out of business, Inu begins wandering off on his own like usual, which leads to him discovering a passageway further into the chamber that leads him into some sort of underground tomb. With the group now collectively being busy talking about Oblivion because of Willow, Inu begins to absent-mindedly walk around the newly discovered tomb to loot every container he can find, which concerningly includes several very fresh corpses that Inu didn't really register as a bad sign due to the present Oblivion talk, and eventually leads them triggering an initiative on 17 fucking undead entities at once, when his absent-mindedly looting saw him prying open a fancy chest in what was very obviously an encounter room.
Oh look, a heroic chest.
With Inu's auto-looting having now sprung an entire battalion of slaughternauts and murder golems to drop onto the group's head, everyone momentarily cuts the Oblivion talk short with a resigned sigh as they head over to prevent Inu from getting torn limb from limb. Once the Oblivion talk eventually resumes, however, the discussion of the magic system getting dumbed down from it to Skyrim leads to Natsu going off on an angry rant after he hears that Blizzard has essentially turned World of Warcraft into an idle game that requires next to no player input to actually play. This angry WoW rant then continues for a good couple minutes as he shifts to how they've also dumbed down basically all of its endgame content to facilitate the new players they insist on catapulting directly to said content, since said players would have zero idea what they're doing due to having skipped the other 99% of the game that would have taught them such knowledge. Which is a discussion Bio found to be rather interesting if its inclusion here didn't make it obvious. With around half of the mummy horde having somehow been cut down during Natsu's blind rage and Karlak unable to move out of fear for whatever reason, or whatever the hell happened to them all, Elle finds herself without much choice but to toss out another of her reserved for Natsu grenades into the middle of the shambling corpses to keep her turn from being wasted. Unbeknownst to everyone, however, and I really need everyone to keep up with this one because we're getting into some genuine Borderlands type shit in a second. This act of tossing a simple smoke powder grenade would instead lead to a utterly fucking gigantic mushroom cloud of an explosion due to the grenade landing in a pool of fire Natsu had created the prior turn, which led to Natsu's fire floor, causing L's grenade to detonate twice at once from taking another instance of damage simultaneously with the impact damage that would normally detonate it. I'm not making this up. This interaction is genuinely a real thing that happens with smoke powder bombs in this game, and it can apparently be stacked multiple times at once, the more damage instances you have. Which in turn caused Natsu to be considered as the one who threw the second grenade for damage calculation purposes, which likewise led to the second bomb being eligible to autonomously trigger Natsu's Cull the Weak ability on the few undead it took below the required HP threshold, which finally resulted in them instantly getting fucking vaporized in a series of micro explosions that then dealt even more damage to the remaining undead near them. Just, Jesus fucking Christ.
Humans retort going, explosions!
Explosions! With that utterly exhausting clusterfuck now over, the group are left in a dazed stupor as they try to fathom what the hell even was that. As Karlak suddenly runs in with a steel chair from off-screen to finish off the last undead that wasn't reduced to smoldering ash from all of that. Hold on, are we cursed? I think we've been cursed. Holy shit, my eyes are fucking red. Are you guys seeing this or... Wait, no. We're all like that. Must be the curse Sarge mentioned. Oh, I thought you meant you were high as balls or something. No, but that sure as hell would have explained what the fuck that shit from a second ago was. Room now free of angry mummies and the group's brains now back in a semi-coherent state, everyone begins to patrol around the room to loot whatever chests weren't vaporized by heavy ordnance a minute ago, which leads to Inu getting caught off guard when he successfully perception checks an incredibly obvious fake wall Dark Souls door. As being an incredibly obvious fake wall Dark Souls door, midway through saying it looked like an incredibly obvious fake wall Dark Souls door. With the Dark Souls door now open, the group head into the secret room to loot some freshly revealed cupboards, only to find that the only thing inside of them are jars full of organs that originally belonged to that jackass mummy Mystic Carrion that they blew up a while back. Guess that would probably explain all the mummies they re-killed a minute ago. And with everyone's pockets now stuffed with pickled mummy organs, the session ends with the group climbing their way out of the box exit the secret room, only to find themselves standing on the opposite side of a wall just behind Bareki, which are all just too mentally drained to even question by this point. Hey, so yeah. Some shit happened last time.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit of shit. Also,
Just a wee
Natsu,
bit.
how did it take like 20 minutes for you to reboot your computer? What the fuck happened there?
Because even though there wasn't one when I put it to sleep last night, my computer was like, hey, you're going to do a Windows update that totally didn't exist before upon restarting your computer. Yay.
Why are you surprised by this? It's Windows.
Have
It
you
is there to
have you
increase
moved up
the
to Win
misery.
11 yet, Natsu?
I've been on Win 11.
Well, that would explain it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we still can't get into the murder tribunal because of reasons. So I guess
But
it's...
I've murdered so many people.
Yeah, I think we all have, but you know,
Karlak's murdered most of the party.
evidently it's not good enough. Gotta be better at murder.
Oh man.
Who's that bald capybara? Hey, there's a mouse. Speak with me, mouse!
Every time I
It's
cast a
the
spell,
cream.
I
What do you mean I
receive
can't get
2
there?
to 12 necrotic damage per spell level.
Wait,
Gross.
what's doing 2 to 12 necrotic damage per spell level now?
I have a spell rot curse.
Oh.
I don't remember that being there when we finished the last session. Oh well.
Were you still cursed from something else?
I don't think so.
Unless you're undead each time you cast a spell. Oh. Well, just don't cast spells then, Fivehead.
But my smites.
Well, I mean, you can cast them. You're just going to take damage, that's all.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Oh, another loose rock with some thieves' tools and a copper ring. Okie dokie. You guys, I passed another perception check.
Wow.
I can't
Perceptive.
believe it.
Me neither, frankly.
Why is this rat called a cranium rat with glowing blue eyes and it says we watch, we wait?
Yeah, I know. I talked to him too, but he didn't like have any actual dialogue, so just made me sad. Oh, there's a dead absolute cultist in the middle of all these grease balls, so that's fascinating.
Uh,
Okay, you are southeast of me. You're over this way. Okay.
I'm just exploring, dude. Don't you worry about me.
Oh, right. And the grease methods. The methods specifically meant for Cusco. Cusco's grease methods.
Wait, what?
Okay. Pop quiz. Where does this ladder go? Answer.
I don't know, Dee.
The lower city. Okay. That just takes us back outside
I'm still loading.
in a bit of
I loaded.
Baldur's Gate we've already been to.
Pop quiz hotshot.
I'm sorry, are these grease methods just having a fucking conversation over there?
Yes.
Huh.
And apparently they enjoy the taste of the sewer.
Oh. Locked door.
Does I
That's
still
it.
have- No, I gotta put the lock picking gear back on. Okay. Put on you, and put on you, and put on you.
I mean, I can try it in the meantime. I think I have lockpicks.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
It's only a DC 10. You're probably fine anyway.
Unless my climb is being weird, I don't see that curse on you right now, Natsu.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Weird. Oh, hey, it's Kithric Voss. Hold on, I need to put my combat gear back on. I have a feeling about this.
Talk to him anyway. Make him suffer.
You know, the funny thing is,
Okay, now
I
I'm good.
can't actually see him.
Right there?
Yeah, no, I can't see him. He's like just
Oh!
he's just not there on the stream.
What the fuck?
All right, here. Let's just
I
let's
guess
Save
I could try
relaunch.
talking to
let's
him.
just quick save, quick load, because that might be an indication that something's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember what happened like the last time stuff desynced? It was a really fucking weird mess. Also, hello City and hello Alan. And hi Bio.
Hello, YouTube.
YouTube.
The U's of the tubs. The tubs of the U.
The tubs of yubs.
Yep, yep.
Oh, by the way, I told
Yep,
Sarge about this, but I don't know if he passed it along. Natsu and I had a completely now Kithric is here. Okay, Natsu and I had a completely bonkers STS run last week
Sure
that
did.
resulted in
Oh.
essentially both of us going infinite. And also just getting like infinity energy and then setting off gigantic nukes. After discovering an interaction between a relic I had and one card I bought just because it had my girl on it, and for literally no other reason, in a fight where we were definitely both going to die. And I just played out my hand because I was super gonna die that turn, and then Natsu was probably dead the following turn. And then I became a gun, like an actual gun.
Yep. I saw it.
And then Natsu
Oh,
became
God.
a gun.
Can confirm. Yeah, I became a fucking nuke.
Yeah.
I was generating 50 energy a turn.
Well, I was generating you 50 energy a turn, and then, like, You could use that energy to summon a fuck ton of tailed beast tails that gave you even more energy.
No, I was cycling tails on my own. I don't know what you were doing. I just know I myself was also generating a shit ton of energy.
Yeah, it was
It's
dumb.
safe to say you have become atomic.
I mean, we also had the situation where anytime like an enemy died, we both gained 12 energy, like immediately, which was extremely stupid. And then Natsu combined that with Human Wave to just do like fuck you amounts of damage and also gain fuck you amounts of block at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, very, very dumb. And then the stream got blocked in every country afterwards.
Huh?
The boss music during that fight with Emiya got the stream copyright blocked.
Oh.
It was okay. I was able to just mute the audio track and everything was fine, so it's available again, but
Okay.
Ah, you finally come.
I have finally
Have you
come.
retrieved the Orphic hammer. Will our prince's chains finally be broken?
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
No, I haven't recovered it just yet.
Then I will wait here until you have. The chains that bind Orpheus also bind the whole of our people.
So where are the rest of your
The remaining
dudes?
honor guard serve as my eyes and ears.
Oh, yeah, that's
Vlakiv's
a good plan.
forces hunt you and the prism. My allies have slayed more than you know, so that you might travel freely.
appreciated.
As for those that break through, you've proven more than capable of bleeding them yourself.
You're damn right.
All right, well, good chat, buddy. All right, where does this? Oh, all aboard!
Oh. Oh boy.
Except for Karlak.
Yeah, where are you guys? Oh, over
We are over this way. A little further than my
All
ping.
aboard,
but-
let's go, Shaw.
I'm pretty
see
sure
this
when I
now.
flick this lever,
We-
this thing is gonna move, which is why I was like, oh, you should
Oh,
probably be here.
most likely.
We have no way of knowing in which way we're going.
It doesn't look like we're going very far, to be honest. Oh, look, we've arrived.
You've arrived at your destination.
You lose, you get
Nothing.
nothing.
Good day,
day,
sir.
There's no way of
Oh God!
I just saw a bunch of us fail perception checks.
And Eno exploded.
There's a bunch of bombs
there it
over and over there too, as it turns out.
knowing. I didn't even move.
Ow!
Duh.
Nope. I like how it keeps being like. I like how it keeps telling me that I succeeded the perception check before blowing me up anyways.
Well, yeah.
So congratulations,
Dude.
you succeeded the perception check, and you're exploded now. Goodbye.
Indeed.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Okay.
Only a DC 15. That's cute. Unlocked.
He says as he unlocks the door that we're not at.
Okay, cool. Now we don't have to take the mystical river barge back.
What the
There
fuck
is
this?
a night blade over here shooting a crossbow at a bunch of refugees. The refugees are frightened.
Which is understandable.
Sir,
There's a politically relevant joke that I'm going to avoid making for the sake of the stream.
Oh boy.
up.
A heretic in our midst, your death in the Dread Lord's name.
Okay.
Well, alrighty then.
What? Why do all of the turns have hourglasses over them?
The fuck?
Why do all of the turrets have hourglasses over them?
Uh,
Elle, are you tabbed out of the game by chance? Is it doing something weird because it's your turn?
Maybe?
No?
Yeah, maybe
Okay, well, I
it's-
mean, you can still move. I don't know why the hourglasses are there.
I
then.
don't know why that's there, but yeah, I can still move. Uh... Interesting.
Haha. 3 out of 4 of them got frightened.
Now they're
well,
skyward.
performance issues. Shame.
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 Okay.
Aha! You've saved versus stunning gaze. Then they're trying to throw something at you.
Wait, I thought they were frightened. Oh no, they have stage fright. That's different.
Yeah, that just gives them performance anxiety. Means they can't
Yeah.
get it up.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and takes damage each time they miss an attack roll. Okay. There's some lovely. Oh, that's an.
That's an oil
explosive
barrel,
on its
not an
own. That's just
explodey barrel.
oil. Damn.
Yeah.
Ah, now they're frightened. Except the one that's dead.
He's more frightened than anyone could ever be.
He's scared stiff.
Oh, and that guy just died for reasons. Of,
Because of the stage fright.
well, sucks to be him.
Are there any enemies that? Yeah, there's one down here. Okay.
I think
There, no, there's. Those are the refugees. I saw red and I was like, oh, it must be an enemy. No. So the only enemies are the two up there? Yes. Okay.
Unstoppable.
Hello, Jaximus. Hello, Vivi.
Jackson CVV. Where is my Eldritch Blast? Oh, there it is. I don't remember how much mine does. So I'll just try and go for a kill on the back one.
Well, you got it.
Yay. Alright, cool.
Oh, hey, the turn orders aren't
Apparently
broken.
Working right.
Yay.
Last guy.
Kill.
Uh-uh.
Kill.
Indeed.
Now hold on to that. Oh, can't kill, but did a lot of damage.
Alright, we'll kill him next time. Yeah, like that. Oh, move away, the refugees are coming to talk. Or, no, they're just fleeing for their lives. Okay.
Wait, come back, refugees. I want to talk. Oh, well. There's some lovely dead refugees down here.
What went click?
I don't know. I don't like that, though.
There's a bunch of noxious fumes over there. You know,
There's a lever over here.
my DOS 2 logic came into play. I was like, I'll just throw a fire at it and make it all blow up. That time it worked.
Shall I pull the lever over here?
Pull the lever, Crunk.
Ah, it turned off the gas traps.
I'm
I was
not
genuinely prepared to say wrong lever.
sure how that helps.
I don't know, but I turned them off.
There's a wooden casket all the way in the corner, it looks like.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to ping that. Did you go in that room at the back there, Natsu?
There we go. That's
Room at the back.
Yeah, over there. Over. Can I ping over there?
I think that's where we entered this area from,
Is it?
isn't it? I mean, the map's already filled in for me.
Oh, but we came
That
in.
does
We
look
came
like
in
the
over
room for
here because.
No, I'm not talking about just now. I'm talking about like the entire sewers area.
Yeah, it looks like where we entered the sewers from.
No, because we came in. We came in way up at the top. Right? Yeah, because the Undercity ruins are way to the northwest of us. And we came in just south of those, like southwest of that.
All I know is that area of the map's already been filled in. So we've already been in there in some capacity. It is right next to the Nine Fingers office area.
Right, yeah. Okay. Seems fine then. I guess we just kind of get our butts out of here. I am apparently not allowed to discover this super obvious door right here today. Like, it's very... I didn't even get a check for it, but it's, like, so clearly a door.
You bet your sweet Bippy.
Is there anything actually over there, Natsu?
Not that I've noticed.
Panning around the shadowy area, there is a sigil circle on the other side of the door Natsu had unlocked. It is over there.
Ah, I see.
Yes, and that area is new because that map has not been filled in yet.
More cranium rats. Terrifying.
Oh yeah, there's another, like, warp point down here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what's
Okay,
up with the
that's a
cranium rats?
Official bug.
I didn't know that game had rats.
Whoa, okay, where are you trying to go, game?
What's that?
Box? Scroll of Conjure Elemental.
Arabella. Who is Arabella? No, I don't want to talk. I want to examine. Wait a minute. Small tiefling child.
Yeah.
Was she one of the ones looking for mole?
No,
Wasn't she the one that
Arabella's
got
the...
warlock powers?
Yeah, Arabella's the one with the warlock powers.
Ah.
Hey, Arabella, what's going on?
Arabella seems not to notice you as you approach. She's as intent on examining a peculiar stone as she is unbothered by the corpses littered on the ground.
Hey! I had a feeling you'd show up. It's sort of our thing, like it's fate or something. Check out the stone. It's magic. Incredible, right?
Well, time to read this child's mind.
DC 10. Okay.
Guidance for good measure. Nat 20, let's go.
Shelley, did you just read my
Arabella's
but how did you
inner voice
muffin
is
button?
quieted by thoughts from the far past. The stone holds records of all those who have passed by it. The histories flow from Arabella into you, creatures slain, lovers reunited, spells crackling through the air. The girl is collecting every last vision. It's as natural as breathing for her.
Neat.
The fuck is this stone?
And I've only scratched the surface. I want to know everything. Bone Man was right. The weave will take care of me. I just need to listen.
So, I can't help but notice you're surrounded by a lot of corpses. Want to tell me what happened with that?
Bandits came at me with daggers. They didn't know who they were messing with.
Alright, cool.
Yep, and I like it that way. Bone Man told me to follow the weave, to let it guide me. I've learnt a lot thanks to him, and I'm still learning.
Alright, well, good chat, Arabella.
Don't worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'll see you soon enough. Bone Man said so.
Well, good for Bone Man.
Yeah.
His name is Bone Daddy.
No idea who Bone Daddy is, but
the-
yeah.
Withers back at our camp.
Is it the Bone Man though?
Yes.
Yes.
Why would you walk into the sludge? Game.
I walked into the sludge.
Game! Sarge. Sarge.
Let me move. Hold on.
Get the fuck out
I
of the
did not
way.
realize-
Thank you. You were blocking the path, and therefore it kept trying to make us go through poison.
Lovely.
Sarge over here like, let me stand exactly in the way. Boy, there is a lot of oil and grease around here.
Yep, there sure is.
Could I fix the grease situation with fire?
Probably.
Possibly.
Alright, is everybody not standing on the grease right now?
I am away from the grease.
I am away from it.
That did in fact fix the grease situation.
Yay.
There's now a bit of a fire surface situation, but that resolved itself eventually. Why am I over encumbered?
Because I sent you one letter. Apparently you are one letter's worth of weight away from being over encumbered.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Everything is here, just as I promised. You're my favorite customer. These were not easy to slip past, both bone cloaks and fists. I assume you'll be prompt in leaving my payment in the usual manner. Until next time, your faithful procurer.
What are we supposed to be doing?
Alright, well, I guess that's a full loop of this bit of the sewers.
Duh.
Except for, apparently there's a bit up off to the left up here that we... Oh yeah, it's past these talking grease methods.
What's the name of that river down there?
Wizard.
Can I jump without... Okay.
What's this, cousin? Another absolutist come to see what we did to poor old Sarin. Your god took her mind, cultist, so Bereki took her head, and I burned the flesh from her bones.
You know, Bereki's
And now
pretty silent.
you come to interrupt the funeral rites. excellent idea.
He's got scales. Let's see, draconic
Cousin
sorcerer.
says we will take you in return. He says you look just like kindling for Saren's funeral pyre.
Oh shit.
He is Clan, summoned in the place of the friends that I lost. Sarin, Bereki, and I, we were the three finest thieves in Baldur's Gate. We broke into the offices of Gortash, discovered he was with the Absolute too.
Yeah, Greece is one of the core
Your
elements that
fellow
makes up the
cultists
universe now,
hunted us,
yes.
So we hid down here. We were safe, and so was our loot, until the darkness soured Saren's mind. She kept our treasure from us, said Bereki and I had gone strange.
Ew.
I think she might have had a
Hush,
point, bud.
cousin. Sarin turned into a cultist herself, so we did what we had to. Bereki wept until his voice was gone, and then he was gone too, leaving only me to conduct Sarin's rites. And my cousins here. You cannot conduct the rites without a clan to bear witness, or some fuel for the fire.
Uh-huh. So anyway, you're a paranoid lunatic is what I'm hearing. Nailed it. Never didn't have it.
Yes.
She swore she was no cultist, but you all lie. The Absolute turns you. I don't know. Pass then, and do not come back. This is Sarin's final resting place, and a killing ground for all who come to disturb her.
Where even is he?
Well, I would assume that.
Oh. Well, he did say pass, so I guess I'm going to pass.
Cue the oncoming fight.
Probably, but...
What's the name of that river down there?
Oh, he has elemental affinity fire resistance. How nice for him.
Yep, Sarin skeleton.
And it's glowing.
Status. Light.
What, your bones don't glow?
I wouldn't know. I've never seen them. Alright, well, I have to go investigate this skeleton, obviously. I'm sure it will be totally fine. And not at all a problem. I can insert an item into Saren's skeleton.
Huh?
Creepy.
Why would I do that? What would I do that with?
Alright, Inu. Put the necrophilia away and step away from the skeleton.
I refuse until I understand why it wants me to insert an item into this skeleton.
Put a grenade in it. I'm kidding, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, I'm kidding.
I don't appear to have a grenade.
Bio says, I'm pretty sure I know what item that would be because it's one you guys missed last session near Bereki. I don't even... Bereki, the one that was up near
Yeah, he's up near the
Ruins?
Undercity Ruins. Yeah, he's the silent dude up there.
Let's go find out. There's tasteful boots and passage of penitence on the ground that are both stealing if I take them.
There's a satchel bag near Bereki that we moused over but never clicked
Oh, there's
on.
a pouch. The pouch is also stealing.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't click on it.
Well, I have a feeling that even though Bareki's not looking at me at all, if I touch his pouch, he's going to get angry. So let's find out. Yep, Saren's skull is in here.
Can you just send it to me?
Did?
I am now encumbered.
Bareki did not react, so I'm just going to move away from the pouch.
Cool.
I'm,
Good work, everyone. There's now a headless ghost standing next to me that wasn't there before.
Ah.
So that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, let's just save up. I would like to fill your bones with the skull. I can't use this right now. Yes, I can. Shut up. Insert. Okay. Okay. The headless ghost is now Saren. We laid the thankful ghost to rest by combining its skull and skeleton. And they are providing us with a Chancer's Carcanet. Innate fortitude. Once per long rest, you may use a reaction to make an attack roll or saving throw with advantage.
Oh, neat.
Anybody want it?
I'm good.
I think I'm okay.
L?
I don't know. I don't think
Oh
so.
wait, no, you have that really nice
I'll just drop it.
periaptic wound closure that makes you heal for max.
Just gonna send it to camp then. Carcanet is certainly a word I don't think I've ever heard before. Yeah, me neither. Okay, well, somehow that didn't blow up and end in a fight, so that's
Yeah, that's very surprising.
frankly unbelievable, but, you know, here we are.
Oh, man. I found the body of an absolute cultist and they didn't have a brain slug on them.
Ah, boo. Boo, I say.
I was saying boo earns.
Well, at this
There's
point,
a very nice
we have...
chest behind the skeleton of Saren.
Oh, you mean behind the locked door?
Yeah.
Behind the stealing locked door?
Yeah.
We're about to have a fight no matter what, aren't we?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on. Where's my book of spells? Where's my dimension doors?
I stand at the ready.
Where are my misty steps?
I'm gonna fall. Oh, I didn't fall. Hell yeah.
Oh, I just have misty step on a can't or on a...
Oh, well, Misty Step should get you past the gate.
Yeah, I would think so. Ah, the chest is also stealing. But
Well, just
I'm out of
crouch
view
in
of
the shadow.
everyone back here, so that should be fine. There is a scorched book, some money, an amethyst, an elixir of guileful movement, an elixir of fire resistance, and some arsonist's oil.
Interesting. Okay.
The book, a barely legible journal. The page is marred by scorch marks and blood. Latest score belonged to Enver Gortash. Tried to lay low with Scorval's crew, but he's lost it. Lumped in with his cult, says Gortash will find us wherever we go. Saren knows a place in the sewers. Saren's not acting right. She's hidden the score, says we've been acting crazy. She's not wrong about Bareki, hunched in a corner, muttering prayers if the old gods can ward off this absolute. Shook some sense into Bareki, and he agrees. Saren, trust her. She's the only one who knows the way in and out of here. If she's with the cult, betray. No choice. We'll make it clean. Well, that was not really helpful. And there is nothing else back here, so good job, everyone.
Ooh.
I guess the thing to do now is to head back to that bit where I saw the like called the ball people earlier and just start dealing with that situation.
Yeah.
So to the Undercity ruins.
If not over, then through.
Why am I still over encumbered? What the hell?
It was not me this time.
No, I don't know why I'm over encumbered. Guess I don't really need the map of the mask of the shapeshifter anymore. That seems to have fixed it. No, don't close the doors, game. This game really has problems with doors. Like, tremendous problems with doors.
Yeah.
Okay, mind the shit on the ground in there, apparently.
The caustic brine.
Yes. Evidently, it's bad. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So over in this direction is Kevo Foggy.
Just as I was getting bored,
Huh?
our Lord sends us a little diversion.
Hello, I am a little diversion. Ow, Barnes, that's rude. Ow, that's rude. You broke my concentration on reading your mind. How dare you? Conjure
I'm
murder
on
of
my way.
crows.
A murder of murderous crows. Okay. This isn't cause and effect, is it?
Murder of murderous crows. Lovely.
What? I'm killing my puns.
Ah!
What are Barnes and Noble doing down here? I know, right?
Super code word for a golden necklace. Oh. I learned something new.
I feel like a crow shouldn't have to use fly. Like,
Fly.
they should just be able to do that without needing to use an ability. They are a crow.
Nonsense.
Yeah,
Rend
quit cawing about it.
vision. Attack creature's eyes and blind it. Well, I would like to not be blinded, but charm doesn't actually prevent that. No, I'm good. Yes.
Yeah, killing crows in the sewers was not on my bingo card.
Why not?
Just wasn't expecting it.
Why not?
Oh, we already killed rats in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, the road to rodents was at least
Ah,
obvious.
nice target-rich environment for a cleave right there.
But I can't reach it.
I know what you were trying to do. You know, you get the fuck out of here.
I didn't say it was without danger. I said it was a target-rich environment for a cleave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is true.
Aw.
Saved explode. Huh? Huh?
Huh?
Huh?
Huh?
Saved
Alright, okay, I don't know.
Karlak used Rage Eagle Heart on self.
Fury in the
Murderous
Fury
Crow
in the
succeeded a
marrow.
saving throw against a blast from Karlak. Fury in the marrow.
What the fuck
Is that-
is Fury in the marrow?
Is that like whiskey in the jarro?
Karlak already has enough devils on her shoulder telling her to kill her frenzy. She doesn't need you sitting on her shoulder too. I don't know, man. It seems like she could use my help.
Go away, stinky birds. Stinky birds with no loot and no bitches.
I mean, they were summoned birds. Like, I wouldn't expect them to have loot.
Oh, but DM, I get a natural 20. That's got to count for something. No, you rolled it without me asking you to.
Well,
Rada. Schnitzel, this is a kid's show. Rada.
I wish I knew what reference you were making.
Haha.
It's a chowder reference.
I like that the birds fell.
Why are you making reference to a soup?
That is a great question. Why is he making reference to a soup?
How'd that hit? You were highlighted. Well, there's a lovely pool of healing on the ground behind you.
I see that. I mean, you didn't manage to hit me with it, but I did see the pool. I was trying to figure out why there was blue fire under me. And I like hovered over. It was like super healing.
Thank you, Bio.
Turbo healing, go.
I mean, he was blatantly referring to like a nice calm chowder, right? Throw on faith.
Hail of Thorns. What is...
8
Oh,
to
it's
22
just a- it's a
piercing
l-
damage.
It's a level 1 spell. I don't care if I take damage from that.
On miss, thorns
Whoa.
will still explode. On save, targets will still take half damage from the explosion. Wait,
Oh wait, I have Psionic Dominance. I can just use my reaction. I finally get to use this. Confirm. Why won't it let me confirm?
Because I need to select the not react.
Seems like the same.
Free counter spells for eating the brain worms.
your time is up, says Kevo Foggy. What, Crow, where are you going?
Pulling a Karlak.
Yeah.
Oh, you Karlaka cracker.
What? Where are they going? Well, they wanted Karlak for some reason, apparently.
Yeah.
Shiny?
Who doesn't?
Okay.
You don't want
What about
Karlak.
Cleave? I need a short rest in order to get cleave.
You don't want
Damn.
Karlak putting anything in you.
You don't know that.
Don't you put words in my mouth.
I explicitly said Karlak.
Don't you put words in my mouth.
You're not Karlak.
Don't
though.
you put words in my mouth.
Don't you put mouth in my words?
Scraw! Not getting paid enough. Scraw! We're out. Fuck this noise. I'm out.
Oh shit! Are you telling me we just killed union workers? Fuck.
Well, frankly, it did seem like they deserved it, so.
I don't want to be the Pinkertons. They're clearly the bad guys.
I don't know, man. They were protecting magic sets from being, like, stolen or something.
Yeah, don't fucking remind me.
Wouldn't have to if people hadn't tried to steal magic sets in the first place.
They didn't try to steal them. They got sent them erroneously.
Right, and then tried to do stuff with them, which would be stealing.
Stupid bird.
You made me look bad. Ooga booga booga.
Booga booga booga. Something.
Unstoppable.
Hey, look, all their unstoppables are gone.
Oh, what are they gonna do without their unstoppables?
Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me.
But what if I want to page you?
I don't have a pager. Oh wait.
Dear
I
God.
can-
Something only 90s kids will remember anymore.
That's probably better for some people. If I'm on this side.
Alright, who here remembers what a pager is?
Me.
Who here had a pager?
Not me.
As a reminder, crows are really fucking smart. So if there was any group of birds that would unionize in the name of getting better shiny rocks as payment, it's them.
Yep.
Yeah, Corbin
Yep.
would definitely be the one.
Yep.
If only these crows were also knights, like some kind of corvy-based knights.
Hmm.
And we're gigantic and made
There's
of metal.
only. Why the fuck are you guys always so far out of my fucking range? So
At least the crows ran to
fucking
you.
annoying. Yeah, at least they did that for me. How I can dash for fucking free, bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Bitch!
Bitch.
Bitch!
Bitch, don't tell me what to do.
What?
Bitch!
Po po. Po po.
Your name activates the ship?
No, it just knows better.
Po po! Sluice valve. You've succeeded a perception search.
As did you, and you've succeeded.
I succeeded in an athletics check.
You've opened a doorway.
Did I?
Into more sewage.
Where? Where's the doorway? Ah, neato.
Bonito.
Temperature valve?
Note
Emergency
to
release
sanitation workers.
valve. Uh-huh. What's the note to the sanitation workers?
I don't know, read it.
Hold on. Just gonna bring up the water level real quick.
I feel like you should read the note first.
I could, but I'm raising the water level. Why did you take acid damage?
I don't know.
You're standing in caustic brine.
Oh, that would be why.
Oh, I thought that was a light source. I thought there was like broken stones above me or something and light was coming through.
Water level is not rising anymore. Water level is rising, okay.
Well, the gauge actually is moving.
Maybe you should read the note.
I can't find the note. Where? Oh, it's on the thing. I thought you put it in my inventory.
No, because you get over encumbered by putting a single piece of parchment in you.
Yeah, you need a minute for
You're all that die? Is that it?
Wait, the sluice gate that's all already open? Oh, water level is now showing as correct.
Is it? 'Cause it doesn't look like it's
Oh,
showing
it
as
was
correct to me.
originally.
Oh, perfect water level is gone. Perilously hot. Uh-oh. Oh, you overheated it. Uh-oh. The water level's too high. It's flooded.
Fix it?
Okay. So, temperature on. Water on. Well, it gets hot, like, wildly fast.
I go stand next to this emergency release valve in case we need it.
Why? It just keeps shooting past the perfect levels now. I mean, we already opened the sluice gate, so I don't think we actually need these. Because I was just talking about opening the sluice gate, and I already did that when we walked in here and everything was already set up, apparently. So I don't think we actually need to play with these levers that much.
Well, I think it's because you succeed your athletics check on the sluice valve.
Oh,
I
see. I just horsed it with raw physical strength.
I believe so.
Cool. I didn't think my noodly barred arms would have the strength to do such a thing, and yet...
You probably seduced enough that it got a little bit, well, I'm not finishing that statement.
Oh, that's an autosave.
That's an autosave.
That's an autosave.
Oh boy.
Well, this looks promising.
Hello! Minsk!
Hey, it's Minsk and fake
All the
Jahira.
coin seems to be there, if a little bloodstained.
Jahira.
You lot are enthusiastic about your lord's work.
Our Lady. We serve only the absolute.
Oh, silly me. We Zentarim are so long past our own godly roots, I'm afraid I forget the half of them. But you, I know. When did you start worshipping gods? Did they give your wee rodent a worm friend too?
Rodent?
Enough! You will show the Stone Lord proper respect, and you will return to the guild hall and do as we have paid you to.
Of course. I only thought...
Wait. Flop all you wish, little fish. But Minsk has caught you.
On that note, good luck. The job will be done by the time you get to the guild.
Oh no, he's been brainwashed into not even remembering his hamster.
But it's Minsk and Bull. How could you forget?
Yes.
How dare.
One does not simply forget, Bull. He's Minsk and Bull, not Minsk and Minsk. Okay.
Okay, Kelly.
Bardic roll. Defense. Yeah. Extra
Yeah. It took everything?
Or-
Wait, that doesn't seem right. I was about to say.
Minsk and Minsk, Minsk and Minsk, Minsk and
Oh, that's as far as I can go. Damn.
I feel like the obvious thing to do here is turbo delete Jaheira first. I feel like the obvious thing to do here is to not kill fucking Minsk.
Where is fake Jaheira?
Up on the
Up on a
thing
level.
there,
I
yeah.
see her now.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
There's fake Jaheira. She do be dashing.
Jaheira, Jaheira. Oh, look, you can almost guarantee to make it not hit.
Do I want to though? It's only 3 to 10 damage.
Yeah, you probably don't care about that.
Or it was 1 damage. What was that, Sarge?
Hunter's mark.
Hunter's mark.
Hunter's mark.
Mark of Hunter.
Hunter's mark.
Fair.
Wait, what? What level? Yeah, it's level 1. Wait. My brain slug power didn't talk about it being like a once per short rest or anything. Why isn't it showing up as an option? Oh, because it's not targeting me. That's why. Okay, never mind. No, it's just Hunter mark. I'm not going to counterspell that.
Minsk, you need to chill. Alright, we're gonna reapply Hex on Jaheira. Does anybody have a check that they need her to not be good against?
I mean, if it comes down to it, Fireball's always an option, so Dex
That's
is
Dex,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't care. Because it does seem to be decently target rich.
Just try not to kill Minsk.
Duh.
That would be very sad if we killed Matt Mercer.
Yes.
Oh, he's casting slow on 4
Slow.
targets. That seems like
that
not
I do
bad.
not.
That seems like not good. Yeah.
Sarge, how are you doing on spell slots? I have only... I have all my 1s and 2s, but this is my only other 3 if I counter this. How are you
Save
doing?
it, I'll counter it.
Okay. Wait, why did it make me cast counterspell?
What?
Alright.
What the fuck?
What the
And I use the spell slot to count.
Yeah, and I'm down a counterspell. I didn't click like accept or anything, but I can see in the history that we both counterspelled it.
Huh.
What the fuck?
Okay. Go
Game.
forth and murder.
Game. You make it really fucking hard to love you sometimes, game.
It's just Larian.
Really loved the unspeakable. That was something.
That's just
something
Larian in general, my guy.
Any fucking D&D based game just never wants me to have any fucking fun.
Is your definition of
Well,
fun
look,
breaks
at
the
least
rules?
everything in the game isn't immune to pierce damage right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Where the fuck
And
are
your
my scrolls of
and your
Fireball?
AC actually does stuff sometimes.
Sometimes.
So like
This is also true.
you're doing better than you know.
Where you were. Still a lot of stuff.
There they
Yeah.
are. I was like, where the fuck are my scrolls of Fireball?
But there's no time. We need to continue. Stay in this time bubble.
Okay. I can get... there's seemingly no spot where I can get all the enemies and not hit Inu. Where can I place it that still gets most of them? Ooh, that... Yeah, that hits all but one of the enemies, and... We've had this before. You are definitively not in the circle. I can see it.
I'm ready
If you
to
take
accept my
damage,
damage, sir. Don't you
It's
worry.
the game
Do it.
being bullshit.
I'm
Blow
ready to
him up.
accept my damage.
Blow him up.
God
No, you maybe do not save that, Jahira.
I think she still saved it, that bitch.
Yep.
Jahira failed the saving throw. No, she failed it.
Alright, good. I would like...
Well, he did hurt Matt Mercer, but he has not killed Matt Mercer, so that's the important thing, really.
Oh, that hits you? Man, that's a wider range than I thought it would be. Alright, what if I... No, that's a height difference. I know that blocks the power. I don't care about attack of opportunities. Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. You hit me for 14 damage.
I've taken all of 1 point of actual damage because I had 20 temporary health. Fools. Okay, what are we doing? No, you're still barely within the circle. Okay. Oh, that one doesn't get your hero. Now I have to move a little this way. Now you're back in the circle. Right here. How am I not catching her? There we go. Okay.
I'm
Only
ready to
36%
accept my
chance.
damage.
Do it.
I
Wait
don't.
for it. It's the delayed one. It's the delayed one. Other side. Okay. All right. And then I'm just gonna move back up into threaten range.
So Jahira first, right?
Yeah. Jahira, quote unquote.
Proceeds to turbo. Her minced.
As long as it's
Looks
turbo
like
murder and not turbo
I
grandma.
can't.
No, turbo granny. Get it right.
I
Too
don't
much
want
else
turbo
is in my
granny.
way.
No, thank you.
Straight overhead.
You let me gobble that cock, boy. I'll let you suckle my teat.
I can't stand anywhere near Inu, apparently. So,
God,
guess
that was
I
such a randomly wild line
Murder this.
to show up out of nowhere.
I also can't stand anywhere near Inu, apparently.
Damn. Oh, but I can do that, huh? I don't care. That will reach, though. Fuck you, game. Oh, alright. I'll take it. Ooh.
What? Really bright all of a sudden.
Boy, I wonder why it might be bright all of a sudden.
Here comes the sun. Da-da-da-da.
Shahira Light is on 1 health. Should have sent a second magic missile after her.
Minsk is not happy about that.
Minsk is not happy about that. Hey,
those
Natu, I'm
skinwalkers.
just gonna put this out there.
Uh-huh.
If you have the opportunity on your turn, that Zentarum lady is currently trying to flee. Who I think
Oh, but I
has
like
all
trading
of
with
the
the
money.
Zentarum.
I think she has all
Which
of
one?
the money though that we're supposed to be getting back.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So just putting that out there.
Oh, talking about Roa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like dealing with Chihiro was definitely the more pressing issue there, but like
Now we have a different pressing issue.
I don't know. I feel like
The
we
money
should
is getting away.
probably not ignore the money.
Yeah, you're right. Just because we have more money than God doesn't mean we can't ignore the money that has to get returned to the bank for the citizens of Baldur's Gate.
Alright. In the meantime, let's reapply hex on you. Like that. And now for those of us that are still over here dealing with Minsk, remember, spells can do lethal damage. And we have had really awful luck with trying to turn spells non-lethal before. Which unfortunately means that like our most realistic option of being able to down Minsk without killing him is Karvik.
How many? Yes, the murder machine. Where are my potions of speed? Or did I hand off the stack without ever getting it back? Nope, there they are. Okay, I have 7. So I definitely cannot make it to you. Oh, I might be able to... Man, thank God I can fly. I thought that said that was going to provoke an attack of opportunity. Why did I not get hit?
Well, it didn't.
Don't question it and just take it.
Hi, asshole.
Believe I can fly.
Where'd you think you were going, huh?
Is the answer to hell? Because I feel like the answer is to hell.
Let's see.
I mean, I suppose you could maybe go non-lethal if that's you could just knock her unconscious and take the money off of her corpse. I don't know if that's an option or not. Or you can always kill her if we have to.
Turn off Cold a Week so that doesn't kill them. And turn on toggle non-lethal attacks. Yes. Didn't ask me about using a smite. I would have preferred to do it on the first one, where I had a much higher chance of not outright murdering them with magic damage. We'll do a level 1 smite. And... Right? Hell yeah.
Woo.
Hey,
Knocked out.
journal updated. Return Raketh's gold. Hell yeah.
Intricate key, temple trader's key, and a stolen gold bag.
Fucking nailed it. Didn't even kill the Zentarum lady.
Alright, and then passives, turn back off, non-lethal, turn back on Cold the Week.
At least turn
Alright,
back
as long
off
as-
non-lethal until such a time as
Actually-
you get over to
I'm
Minsk.
gonna keep Cold a Week off until I get away from knocked out person over here. Because if anything comes over here near me and then dies, it's gonna make what's their name?
Look,
Roa. It's
Roa.
gonna make them take 1 to 4 psychic damage, which would then kill them. So I'm gonna keep that off for now.
Roa Valdemyong. No, sorry, Roa Moonglow. Wrong Roa.
Roa, fight the power.
Like how my brain refuses to like learn how to pronounce Ark's name properly, but it's like, yeah, Roa Valdemyong, that I can do. Don't you worry. Even though Ark should be super easy, it sounds very awkward. Oh, so
okay.
Bio, because they just handed out all of those grails a little while ago, I actually did the unthinkable the other day, given my experience in the first year of the game. I actually grailed Squirtle.
Did you know?
Yeah, she's 100 now. And then I made a decision that because I still had so many grails lying around and I didn't know what to do with them, I went ahead and also decided that since I was basically already committed to grailing Squirtle and I was already planning on grailing Aoko, that clearly the only acceptable outcome here was to likewise also grail Arc-Earth. So then I grailed Arc-Earth, and now I need to wait for her to be on banner next time to boost her to NP5. Or just target her really hard in all the lucky bags and pray. And then also decided that since I was already grailing Aoko and Alice, that I might as well grail Sojiro too.
Grail everything.
I'll just grail the entire cast of Mahoyo. Yeah, I'm also not a fan of how low Minsk's health is over here. Especially since I
just gotta turn on non-lethal and hit him some melee
doesn't
attacks.
work with magic is the
doing.
problem.
The rest of the sentence was, and hit him with melee attacks.
You know, I know what the rest of the sentence was. I am just going to focus on dealing with these other cult assholes in the meantime. Them I can continue to smack without fear of repercussions. Oh, Karlak's health is not doing super great, I've just noticed.
Correct. And Karlak has Hunter's Mark on her, which means Mince is going to be going ham on her face.
Hello? Lay on hands? Oh, lay on hands is a full action. That explains that, doesn't it? Alright. I could do that, or...
Yes, hit him with a guitar.
Not what I was thinking, no. Heal Karlak is what I was thinking.
Thank you.
Hey, now you can fly.
Now I can fly, but that's
They fly
bonus
now?
action, but I actually can't fly because I just used my bonus action.
Oh, well, they don't fly
So
now.
I can just jam out. Ow.
I think it was this jackass that cast that.
No, Willow, I do not mean that arc. I mean the arc that... I mean the Tsukihime arc. Who I think
yeah.
her proper name is supposed to be pronounced something along the lines of Arcuade Brunstud. but it just sounds really stupid.
Yes, you can't
So
concentrate on a
just call her
spell if
Arc.
you get knocked out. Same goes to you. Kibbles for Snicker.
Kibbles for Snicker?
They have Snickers in Baldur's Gate? Oh. There's a body on the ground called Snicker that I believe was one of the dogs.
Well, Snicker is now deceased, so he will not be getting kibble.
Specifically a hyena.
I'll quick check to make sure non-lethal is still turned on.
It should be, but I'll check.
Yep, it is. I double checked. You're good.
I just knocked out the last two enemies, so...
There's an archer up top. Yeah. No damage, just knocks prone.
Oh, in that case, down you... Down you do not go.
This is gonna be...
Behold a most noisy cuck. That was your cutting words.
Behold, cuck. Okay, we knocked out
Against
Minsk.
the darkness swarming, his senses a single light glows. Rage, flaring brighter every moment.
Killed her.
No, we did not.
So has he been wormed?
Yes.
Listen, if you want my help, you help him.
Don't be foolish. He is too unpredictable. He will only be a hindrance to us.
I just love the idea of threatening this guy. I would prefer to be the historian here, but I actually have a higher chance at the intimidation roll. And it's also so ridiculous that Emperor was most recently like, hey, I'm in charge here. Don't think you can fuck with me. And at the first opportunity, I'm like, you will do what I say! Shut the fuck up and do what I tell you!
Bitch, I'm the boss of you!
Never didn't have it.
Ruh-roh.
Never didn't have it.
Fine. Have it your way.
His
Burger
mind
King.
unfolds beneath yours. A still lake pulls you down into its depths. Images flash by, battles fought, and friends fallen. His rage grows colder, burrows deeper, as a familiar face crystallizes before you.
Don't be stupid. He's way too dangerous. Hey, fucko! I have an eye patch! I saved her, you big lumbering idiot.
The instant's hesitation is enough. With a sensation of terrible rending, something vast and nameless falls away from his mind.
There. It is done.
In the sudden silence, your minds merge once more. More memories, sensations, but passing too quickly for you to track. In the same breath, you share everything that happened to you. The Nautiloid, the Absolute, the chosen of the Dead Three.
You saved Minsk. While he danced like a mind flayer's meat puppet. Why?
Because you are cool as hell, dude. I mean, I guess the first one, though.
Yeah?
Then you have two, and as many more as I can rip from enemy shoulders. But I have more than Minsk alone to offer. He
Yeah,
is...
like boo.
He is... Where is he? Minsk is on his way.
And he's off.
Dude just full healed.
And he just punched his way through a wall.
Of course you did.
Hell yeah.
That's Minsk.
So, okay, so Jaheira was actually a ghoul this whole time, not Orenberry herself. It has a letter from Orenberry, though. The Stone Lord's skull echoes with absence, and the tadpole alone is not enough to fill it. Take on the crone's dust-pocked form and fill his thoughts with old adventures, so that he might smile sweetly while he slaughters for us. And do not pulp the rodent! If its chittering gives the Stone Lord pause, then set it aside for me, so that we might give the great hero a final meal when his work is done.
Wow, Orin, as if you needed even more reasons for us to want to pulp your face into the fucking ground.
That is remarkably fucked.
Huh. So I just opened the stolen gold bag to see how much was in it.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing. So now I need to check the journal entry to see what the journal update says.
You stole all the gold yourself.
No.
Ruh-roh.
It was fake money.
It says we retrieved the stolen gold and we should return it to Raketh, but there was nothing in the bag. What do you mean we retrieved it?
Second.
Maybe they knew players would try to swipe the gold, so they literally left it as an empty bag for the players.
Second draft. All the Faceless know that you earned Orin's approval, Gauze, and managing the Mad Rashemi is an important assignment, but you're letting this whole Jaheira impersonation go to your knobbly head. You don't even drop out of it when the Stone Lord is asleep. Moreover, simulated boss or no, you don't have to be openly disrespectful when ordering the rest of us around. Your Harper gig won't last forever, and then you'll be one of the Shaller again. We'd rather be your friends. Signed, Vought. And Kibbles for Snicker. Remind yourself, we're almost out of those kobold bits that Snicker's so fond of. Talk to Noder about hitting the sewers for another Cubbo hunt. Game, please. Minsk.
Speak up.
Minsk, have you found him? Have you found your miniature giant space hamster?
My friend, from our brief sharing of skulls, I know you have faced many strange beings, but none like this. Whatever happens, show no fear and stay your hand. Trust in Minsk.
I do trust you, I think.
Minsk finds that the less thinking he does, the easier the trusting comes.
I hear him.
Yeah.
Wait! You gaze into Minsk's soul and see his foul crimes. You smell the stench of evil upon him, pointy claws primed, ready to scratch out his eyes.
Hungry eyes!
I am sorry, my friend. I am at the mercy of your faultless justice. Now, if you must burrow through my blackened heart, I am ready. No? You are certain? Oh, such boundless compassion. You are all heart. And whiskers. And cute little nose. You are right,
And
of
adorable
course.
paw pads.
There is still much evil for Boo and Mince to stamp out. But we need not fight it alone. I have a new face to show you. But it is not a villainous one for the clawing, understand? You,
The
this
anticipation.
is Boo. And Boo, meet
Behold! Boo! The miniature giant space hamster!
Yes. Go for the eyes!
It is an honor, Boo.
No, it is a hamster. A miniature giant space hamster. Fear not, you will learn the difference in time. Those villains locked Boo away, lest his righteous gaze cause their tadpole to flee in terror. Now we are together again. All will be exactly as... Boo, why do you use such language? Once more, my hamster proves himself my greater half, and makes the path clear when my mind is fuzzier than his tiny bottom.
His tiny bottom is very fuzzy.
Greatest characters.
He was in the first and second Baldur's Gate as well. Minsk is just the greatest character in all of Baldur's Gate, bar none. Like, so much better than Imoen, who just, I could not stand for the start of every one of her turns. Hey, it's me, Imoen, every fucking turn. Get the hell out of here, Imoen.
Ooh.
Secure your rodent and follow me. Oh my god.
It'd be an honor.
Miniature as Boo is, he is also giant. You will need to make room for us, my friend.
Okay, in that case, I will meet you at camp later.
Boo and I are most adept in the doing of things, but as you wish. To camp then! For his heroics here today, Boo has earned the most vigorous of back scratchings.
Minsk approves! Of course Minsk approves. For we have rescued Boo, and I did not attempt to murder Boo in the face. Because I'm not a fucking monster!
Duh.
I mean, I am about many things, but not about the Boo! I finally acquired a new friend for Scratch and Owly. Precisely. A turnip?
A humble turnip, preserved by drying.
A turnip?
A turnip.
A turnip!
A warhammer.
A worn but still capable warhammer, sized for a halfling.
A pair of wings.
What a hammer. Looks like it has a history too.
Oh, I've picked up a pair of wings. That appears to be a stone tablet that I can't read. Okay. To camp with you then, you're too heavy.
Ah, yes, the great
A
stone
mailed
tablet.
fist in the Firecam armor style.
Well, that's the entire sewers done. No sign of Orenberry, though. Weren't we supposed to be stabbing her down here?
I mean, there is that door we can't open.
Well, yeah, to the murder tribunal, but I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that at the moment. How's everybody doing on resources?
Mostly fine. I'm out of third level spells, but my second are topped off, and first I'm only down one.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
got my first and second one, so.
Alright. Sounds like
there.
we're good then. Okay, so now I just need to get us. Do we need to get. No. Okay, so now we gotta get back to where we came in so that we can get back into the prison and make sure that we actually did everything in the prison, which I think we did. But. Huh? Oh.
What?
Oh, hold on a moment.
Oh yeah, they were knocked out, not actually dead.
Fix that. Not Moonglow, though. Moonglow can stay alive. Wouldn't want to... Ooh, what have you found up there, sir?
I don't know. It's a locked chest. Only a DC 7. Huh.
Seems to be
3
stuck.
black and furnace red die. Okay.
Black and furnace bread dye.
Red die.
Bread dye.
Lead die.
Don't come down that. Oh, I remember Jedi. This was not a good direction for me to come down, as it turns out. 'Cause I don't want to. I don't particularly want to walk through the caustic brine. So we came in. We've been right here. Leave. Just don't know if we can go back up that way. Oh yeah, we can. Right, back up to Flim Cargo's basement. So we did the smelly climb down. And we've done the door at the top. Yeah, I think we're just kind of done in here, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Where was the other... Like, where did we come into Flim's Cargo from? There's another ladder in here. I feel like it was down this way, maybe? That got us into the basement? No, because... Okay, so that goes back there. Where did we come in?
There's a ladder up that way that I just pinged.
Is that not the one that... Oh, no, you're right. That is it. No, you're right, Sarge.
Doesn't happen often. It just happens sometimes.
I mean, I figure the temple's got to be past the murder tribunal door, because that's like the only place down there we haven't been yet. Okay, get Gortash's Neverstone. Consider, okay. Disable the steel watch. Right.
I rolled a net 1 on advantage.
Press the murder tribunal. We have taken the serial killer's sick trophies. We can use these to access the Dead Lord's tribunal under Cattle Hollow's tombstones. Okay, so, right, we can't go to the murder tribunal until we access the Dread Lord's tribunal. So that's fine.
Do we want to do the counting house and then go after the steel watch factory?
Counting house.
To return the money.
Alright. Where are we? Yeah, counting house is only just a short jog away, isn't it?
Relatively, it's like quote unquote next door.
The long way on the map. It's just to the east, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited for next week.
Me too.
What's next week?
Fantasy Life releases.
What releases? Sorry.
Fantasy Life.
Fantasy Life. Okay, I don't know what
Girl. Fantasy Life.
Yeah.
The first one came out on 3DS, and it's they call themselves a slow, cozy RPG.
Okay.
It's just more like a cozy RPG with a, they call it a life system, but it works essentially like the job system in Final Fantasy.
Okay.
and you go around and you can do whatever the fuck you want and ignore story to. In the 3DS version of the game, you could to a certain point. You were capped on how far you could level your lives until you completed story. But
quite literally, the game is telling you to get a life.
I really, really played a lot of the first one. I loved it, and I've been waiting for this second one for a long ass fucking time.
And it's coming out on the Switch too.
Nope.
No?
Coming to PC.
Hmm.
I mean, it might be, but I know it's released on PC. How am I already lost? How did you get all the way over there already?
Iran.
I see.
What does that Middle Eastern country have to do with how you got over there?
Stop putting things in the Iraq. Hey, Glitterbeard, come here.
I hope you've come to make a lodgment. A city-sized one?
What?
It's probably because I have the bag.
Yeah, could you toss it in my inventory? Usually you can just magic pockets that shit.
Yeah, usually. Alright, I started my inventory, so it's gonna be one of these bags up here. Stolen gold bag, there it is. Send. Okay, it is in your inventory.
Come back here, dude. Quit walking away from me.
I hope you've come to make a lodgment. A city-sized one?
It literally will not let me hand him the bag.
I wonder if the bag was glitched, because like I said, I opened it and that bag was empty. BG3. Banks. Gold. Bag. Empty. Question mark. Overcast stolen gold glitch. I knocked Roa unconscious, then took the stolen gold, which said it had a value of 10,001 gold. Great. When I went to return the gold to Rakoth, my option said I didn't have the gold, so I checked the bag and it was empty with a value of only 1 gold. My party gold is also still under 10,000. I didn't long rest change my party or do anything out of the ordinary. I'm playing on PS5 in the month, installed any idea what happened. Response from 21 days ago. I think this quest is bugged. I have over 10k gold on my inventory, and when I looted Roa while she's unconscious, her gold bag only had a value of 1. Currently in the process of loading and reloading to see what I can do to get that stolen coin. Okay, I figured it out, I think, at least for now. It doesn't matter if you get Roa on the cistern or let her escape first to the guild hall, you need to avoid knocking her out with non-lethal. That should allow you to retrieve the gold safely.
Oh, well, that's what we get for not wanting to kill the Zentarum, I guess.
We had to kill her?
Evidently. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, you're serious? Maybe you don't have a head for accounting, but that's not quite how numbers work.
Alright, we're friends. Do what I say. Never didn't have it. Sir, I have a hat. Please listen to me.
Should I wash the feet of every beggar down by the docks too?
Yes,
get that
please.
goddamn hat.
Fine. I'll pull in some debts with other guild kingpins. I can cover maybe half of what's lost. But I need something back. Understand?
We could pay 5,000.
Yeah, I think I've got it at camp. Let me just go grab it.
I have it.
Yeah, but like...
Money does not matter. 5,072 split.
Astral line.
5,000 send to Shelly. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I only had 500 gold in my chest of camp. Thought I had more in there.
Well, I sent you 5,000.
Okay, what? This dude needs to stop wandering all over the fucking vault, man.
I hope you've come to make a lodgment.
Yeah.
A city-sized one.
There you go.
And not even a whisker light.
Apart from the 5,000 that I convinced you to pay.
Me too, I suppose. Because I'm not even tempted to scam you. Take this vault key. You'll find something by way of thanks inside.
So, we gave him 5,000 gold. Then he gave me 2,500 gold.
Huh.
He gave us basically half
And
of
high
it back.
security vault key number 9.
Watch, we probably already robbed that one. I mean, liberated.
Liberated is what you meant. High security
Yeah.
vault key number... Okay, so we could turn in high security vault key number 9 to Nine Fingers guy, right? Like, that's a possibility.
True.
Or I could just open high security vault number 9.
Yeah, go see if we've already.
No, the high
procured
security
it.
vaults are in here. We didn't open any of those.
Oh. Well, I guess save before you open it.
Yeah, I also have to find it.
I don't immediately see it.
It's the 9th one.
Yeah, the problem is they're not in a logical order. That's 7 and 8. 6, 5, 4.
Do you have to find it by running through a pillar?
3, 2. Where is number 9?
It's in between 8 and 10. Run through a pillar.
Like, it should be over here. One would think. Because there's like 7 and 8, but 9 does not appear to be present.
Found it. Jesus fucking
Oh,
Christ.
it's in there. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I looked at the pattern, I'm like, oh.
All right. It has elegant studded leather, which is a +2 bonus to initiative rolls on rare light armor. Gives the shield spell, gives advantage on stealth checks, and has a AC of 14.
I mean, the shield spell's cool, but I don't know if anyone's gonna wear that.
It's not like good for
I think-
Karlak, is it?
I was gonna say, I think the only person I would wear it would be Karlak.
Well,
'Cause the
Karlak's
rest
just
of us are in
wearing
heavy
regular
armor.
ass clothing. Karlak's not even wearing armor at
Yeah,
all.
I am. Yeah. That would be, I think, a good upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know if you're necessarily worried about the wrath anymore.
There you go.
I'm
It's
not
in your,
really.
It's in your inventory.
It's in the first slot. Mantle of the Holy. Hey, that looks nice.
That does look nice.
Actually,
It only increased her AC by 1, though. That's kind of interesting.
Well-
Yeah, because she's actually wearing armor, so she doesn't get her Constitution bonus to her AC anymore.
Oh, right. Well, it did still increase your AC, though, so that's fine.
I mean, I do have gear in here that looked like it gave me different bonus. Raging, I get 2 turns of wrath. Generates 2 turns of wrath. Constitution +2.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
That one sounds better, and I will get my full bonus.
Hey, look at that. Same AC.
Yeah. So we'll actually go with that instead.
So the other thing with that was back at Nine Fingers, right?
The keys, yes.
And I don't remember how we got there. Where was Nine Fingers place? There it is. I see it.
Oh, we have 2 quest markers back by the Basilisk Gate.
Yeah, I'll head there in a second. I just want to go drop in and see if we can double dip with that key. And then he was over this way. Journal updated AD.
Hold it there. Bad time to come visiting, my friend. This is interim territory now.
What?
Just as soon as we've purged it of guild rats.
Huh?
Nothing personal.
Huh?
Oh boy.
How'd that happen?
So the Zhentarim are initiating a hostile takeover of the guild, by the way, Natsu.
Well, I guess I'm coming down there after all.
Well, sounds like we got ourselves a target-rich area.
Was this over at the guild hall entrance? Or did
Yeah,
y'all have
guild hall
somewhere else?
entrance.
Okay. You lot are just standing outside the entrance doing nothing. Dumbasses.
You know, I just came back to see if I could hand November a key that I'd already opened the thing with. But no. Way to walk into the middle of a fucking coup. All these goddamn coop to etats. That is a large doggo down there, yes.
Since I assume you haven't been paying attention to any of the spoilers for the Final Fantasy set for Magic that's coming out, there's now a spoiled card called Triple Triad.
Because of course there would be.
Fucking Chloe's journal was a card too, I saw.
There's so many good cards coming out of it, including the Vivi card. I've already crafted my list to use it as a commander. I'm so excited for the Vivi card.
I want the You Stole the Deck.
I saw somebody saying they'd already figured out a line for Noctis as a commander.
That doesn't surprise me.
You want Emmett Selk as well?
Mm-hmm.
Rahatir.
I pre-ordered all of the commander decks in the starter kit. I'm probably gonna buy a regular booster box tomorrow when TCG Player is having their Mayhem sale, where I get 10% back in TCG Player credit. And when I sell my Mr. Krabs Smothering Tithe, I'm gonna use that to buy a collector booster box.
Ooh, whoa. Pricey, but damn.
Yes. But I have a local friend who owns a game store that is willing to sell me a collector booster box at MSRP if he can secure another one.
Really?
So, selling the Smothering Tithe, I'm still going to end up positive on money, even including the 2 booster boxes together. No, I wish it did, Bio.
Does it for you. Just and your opponent stop playing Magic to instead go play around a triple triad before the returning the ongoing Magic game. No, but there is a Magic card called Scheherazade
Scheherazade,
that makes you stop playing the current game of Magic, take your library, and start a new game of Magic using your library as your library for the new game of Magic, and then whoever wins that sub-game of Magic comes back and the opponent loses half of their life in the first game of Magic. And then you could, like, do another Scheherazade inside that game. And then
it gets even funnier.
And then there was the unset
the...
card. What was it? Enter the Dungeon or something? Which was just Scheherazade, but it required you to play the sub-game under the table.
Yes. And on top of that, there is also Karn Liberated that lets you reset a game. So you could have sub-games within sub-games, but then also be resetting those games by getting Karn's Ultimate to go off.
Yeah. I see, I like the unset one that was like, oh yes, start a new sub-game of Magic under the table of the current game. And then, like, if you played another one in that sub-game, you had to, like, stack another table on top of the first table. Just make a big table tower.
But yeah, so what triple triad does is it's a red enchantment. It's 3 generic mana and 3 red mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until end of turn, you may play the card you own exiled this way, and each other card exiled this way that has a lesser mana value than your card without paying their mana costs. Alright. What?
So who are you gonna kill, Natsu?
Well, I'm trying to...
Ghostbusters!
I'm gonna kill Zentarim. I'm just trying to see if there's any 9 fingers that are close to death that I need to go protect.
I mean,
Lady Quincy is almost at half.
I had a feeling that you might have had some knowledge on that bio, but the thing is, like, I don't know, you could have just been close by, you know, by accident, right? I didn't want to make an assumption.
Yeah, let's go try and protect... Oh, God, Quincy's all the way down there. Can I get down there? Oh, yeah, my flight gets me down there easy. Okay. Let's go fuck some shit up. Whee! Yeah, I have the power of flight. Did I do anything for you?
The weird squid girl's at it again. Keep dealing with it inside.
No, Squid Girl was a cute anime. What are you talking about?
Let's see. Let's level 2 smite on. Actually, let's make sure my passives are turned back on. Hold on. Nope, Call of the Week was not turned back on. Easy, Chewie. I'm not a freaky fish guy.
So you are a freaky fish guy.
See, I wish they would print stupid cards like Scheherazade again. Like, that are actually meant to be played and aren't just unset cards. Also, unsets are just my favorite part of Magic the Gathering. I've really, like, they're just so...
They usually also have, like, the best basic art lands, but also Unfinity reprinted shock lands as well, and the shock lands are so fucking pretty in that set.
I mean... Like, my favorite lands I have were from...
Yo, did I crit on that? That dude was at full health, and that was my bonus action attack.
What was the, like, I think the second to last unset?
Unstable.
Yeah. My favorite lands I have are my full arts from Unstable.
Yes. The Unstable lands are fantastic. Yeah, get him 9 fingers. Bitch, I already took care of 3 of them down here.
Bitch wants to help out with the rest of them. Good job, Niagara Falls. And Niagara Falls really putting in work over here.
Ooh, critical hit.
Get him, you habak. Oh, sorry. It's Lady Quincy, not Lord Quincy.
Lavender beds. Okay, I'm going to check that out.
There's some lovely filth over here. Oh. Howdy do. You missed. No.
You missed. You failed to hit Slickinatra. Maybe Happy Hands can do something. Oh no, Happy Hands is level 1. I don't think Happy Hands is doing anything about that situation.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was still the enemy's turn.
I mean, Natsu's still alive, so technically speaking, yes?
Huh?
Hmm?
I mean, she has yet to kill you, so...
Haha.
Oh no, Lady Lockjaw died.
Who?
Lady Lockjaw. She died.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Lady Lockjaw. She died.
Is that actually her name?
Yeah.
Huh. No.
I see Lugario, who is Zentarum, and I see a Lacey Dancer.
Oh, baby?
Maybe?
Lacey Dancer is also Zentarum.
Oh, baby. Only K the first turn of combat.
Onike-sama?
Onike?
Onike.
Onike-sama.
What the fuck?
Oh, Lady Lockjaw was way up here. Okay.
Yeah. And she deaded. It was very sad.
Honestly, well, I thought you were about to say she got knocked down and then got
She
up
got
again.
up again.
You can't
Stop!
keep them.
Stop thumping the tub!
But you know the rules.
And so do Pie.
Yes.
Oh, did I get a 2 for there?
I think you did.
Nice. Onike. No, Willow. Onike. You're not taking that back.
Onike.
Onike.
Okay.
Why? Why would you do that, Lady Croup?
Jump 28 points of damage. Jesus Christ.
Lady Croup, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, Onike-sama.
Because she's Croup like that.
Gas fairy fire, then like dove to cripple herself on the ground. Banzai!
Meanwhile, there's what, 1 Zentarum left in this pit?
I believe so. Yes. Get into that dog pile.
I have a feel like these guys really did not plan this coup attempt well enough. Alright, well, Congratulations, everyone. We solved the coup. Where the hell's the guild leader?
My family.
Nine Fingers, where are you? I need to have a word.
Lacey Dancer had a note on her. Lucario did not.
Nine Fingers!
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Does anybody remember where Nine Fingers is?
There's Upcar, who's the one looking for the keys.
Yes, okay. That tells me where Nine Fingers' office is. And if you've just found Upguard.
What's up, Guard?
God damn it, not to! Get out of my brain!
Well then.
Jesus Christ.
Perhaps I'll need more.
Caravan Strongbox on Slick Inatra.
Ukta, I remain Guild Bursar, whoever sits in the big chair. Do we have business?
I brought you a vault key.
Have you made an acquisition?
I did, in fact. You may have this key.
Glitterbeard. He was given mastery of the counting house over me, you know. Well deserved, wouldn't you say?
I've given you everything I have.
Then our business is done, for now.
And then he gave me 300 gold.
Wow.
Well, hey, it's not like he's getting anything out of that, because I already stole all the shit out of it. Well, we already stole the armor out of there and put it in Elle's pockets, so...
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, the armor that we stole.
Oh, yeah, the
put in your
armor.
pockets.
Yeah, you don't have pockets in which to put
Wait, you put the armor in my pockets.
Ha!
Thanks, it has
Interesting.
pockets.
Hey, Nine Fingers.
Suppose I should have seen that coming. Zentarim aren't known for their loyalty, but I thought the bastards would keep to their contract at least. I'm too nice for my own good, I suppose. But I was in a pit, and you helped pull me out. For that, I'm grateful. You'll have what guild blades I can give when the time to take the absolute comes. So, just tell me what you need to get us there.
Hell yeah.
I like this person.
I need information.
Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your
What do you need to get you there? Well, okay. Well, never mind. You're just gonna... Alright. Well, anyway, we can... Wait, what? Complete Aid the Underduke? How? What? All I did was... Alright, well, anyway.
Directly, we helped Murdy. We murdered
We murdered.
Murdy de Gurdy.
Murdered a girder.
Narrative. Helped the guild murder the Zentarim.
Find Dribbles the Clown. Save Vanra.
Huh. So that Zentarim that had a Caravan Strongbox on them. I picked the lock.
Uh-huh.
And it had some gold, some viridian crystals, which we've had before, but it had an iron flask.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it a bottomless iron flask?
No, but I think it's that Pokeball equivalent thing where it has a monster stored inside of it.
Oh, neato.
Let's break that shit out and kill it. I want experience.
You don't need experience. We're max level.
I want more experience.
Excuse me for a quick moment of slam poetry.
Yes.
Life has tried to push me down, made me crawl when I should fly, but I won't be stilled, and when I'm killed, I'll be looking at the sky.
This has been a dramatic reading with Inu.
And then you got back up again.
You're never gonna keep my clown.
Ignore our puns.
My clowns!
I get knocked down, but then I get a clown. Okay. Stuffed by the Basilisk Gate. I'm now at the Basilisk Gate. Ah yes, I have to go up into the barracks. He still gave you gold for the key. Yeah, he sure did.
And Willow with spoilers.
Yeah, Willow over here with spoilers.
Behold! Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same one that we could have gotten back in Act 1 or
You
not.
sent word about a lead. Said that I should come see you about it.
Of course, madam. Let me just... Forgive me. Why are you here?
Is this some kind of sick joke? Do you have any idea what I've been through these past few days?
You're Laura, right? And your kid's missing?
Her name is Vanra. This stupid, useless fist said she had a lead, but she must have been sucking Dream Mist or something.
Madam, tell me. You said... she was...
Uh-oh.
I wonder, her?
taken from a tavern?
Yes. The blushing mermaid.
Say failed
down by the
Arcana.
docks I told you 100 times. Why aren't you listening?
Excuse me, citizen, but if this is a criminal matter, it's my business, not yours. Now, madam, if you'll just tell me why you're here, I'll take down the details.
It's happening. I feel like I'm going mad.
Well, I'm a paladin, so tell me what you know.
You will? Thank you. I haven't slept or eaten since she disappeared. I'm terrified something has happened to her. Her name is Vanra. She's 7 years old and has red hair, like me. We were in the Blushing Mermaid when she was taken. Just up by the docks.
Is anyone else with you?
No, unless you count a couple of old drinking mates at the next table. But they'd be no help. They barely remember their own names. We were sober though. I swear. I stop in the maid for a drink sometimes. But it was only a quick one.
Uh-huh.
Of course. The front of house, Bosun Gannet was there, and the owner of the Blushing Mermaid, Captain Grizzly. Neither lifted a finger to help me look. It was awful.
Well, I guess I'll head over there and see what's up.
Thank you. I'll head home. Can't stand being around these idiots any longer. Come find me the moment you hear anything.
I'm curious, if you talk to the guard captain there, can we find out what's wrong with her?
Read the mind.
Commander Portier, acting marshal of the Fist. If you have a crime to report, please wait outside. We're currently at capacity.
Is it because your brain's been addled?
I have a city to protect, refugees to manage, and an army on my door. I do not have time to chat.
Well, she's not helpful, so... that's unfortunate. Meet with Mistra. Oh!
Yes.
Oh. Oh no. I mean, Gail's probably supposed to be here for this.
There's supposed to be a way where even though we're playing with custom characters, you can have us not have control of them, send them to the camp, and have us, you know, control the NPC that we need. You can put my character away and have me take control of Gale if we can figure out how.
Interesting. Shame we didn't know about that earlier. We could have saved Chart, possibly.
Yeah.
We'll have to play with that. I mean, we're more or less at time anyhow, so...
Yep.
Probably a good place to cut it and try and figure that shit out next time. If we... Well, I was going to say if we remember. Of course we'll remember. We have a bio. It's never a question of us remembering. It's only a question of bio telling us later.
Bio is good stuff.
The only reason I remember anything that has ever happened on my channel ever is because of bio.
That's why I said Bio is good Civ.
You can dismiss a custom character from your party and they'll be stored in Wither's wardrobe. And you can recruit them back into the party at any time by interacting with Withers.
Oh, maybe?
Oh, you know what though? Before we cut, I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I keep forgetting at the end of sessions. Oops. Let me just zoom in here. So, I've been contemplating using my pink dye that I've had for a while now on this set of casual clothes that I've got here, and I wanted to get I wanted to get additional opinions apart from just mine. I need to turn off my. Can I? How do I? Does it? Can't cancel fire. How do cancel fire?
Is it a passive?
Put out. Okay, that's how. No more fire. And do I have light on something? I don't think so. Okay, no, I don't. Why am I so glowing then? Is my question. Is it
magic.
Is it detect thoughts? It's not detect thoughts. Why am I under the condition of Blade Ward? Why am I getting Blade Ward?
Because of your armor. Your armor.
No, I'm still glowing even after taking that off.
Yeah, but that is what was giving you Blade Ward, though.
Why am I glowing? Something to do with...
Well, Sarge has the same little swirl going through the air around his character.
No. Falara Luve is glowing, but that's not what was doing it, apparently.
Is it just to show that you both have temporary hit points?
Maybe. Anyway, so obviously we've got the blue and the red here. So if I combine my pink dye with my clothing, we also have this very nice pink variant instead. So as opposed to the blue and red, there's this pink. So I don't know. Thoughts from people here and also from chat? Like, I kind of like it. Bio's more into the blue. Okay.
I like the pink. It might be just because it's me and the lighting. It comes off more white than pink.
It's because of the effect.
It's partially because of the effect, but if you look at the like the chest piece there, that's definitely more pink.
Yeah. I feel like I'm with Bio that I prefer the blue more, but the pink is definitely not bad.
Pink blends with your skin to almost be unnoticeable as being there. Suppose I can see that a little bit. I mean, I've got the save, so like, I just kind of experiment with these a little bit. Because I know I've done the armor before, and I super don't care for what happens with the armor. Right? Like, the armor is just... No. That's objectively worse. I don't know if it'll let me do my hat. See if I can... Okay, let's combine...
More cake.
Can I make my hat pink?
Engines.
Oh, it just makes the the under brim of the hat pink. That's less impressive.
What if you made your loot pink? Or your lyre pink?
I don't know if that's allowed. No, that's an invalid combination. I am not allowed to do that.
Damn.
What about my boots? Can I make my boots pink? I can,
Absolutely.
but again, it's not terribly impressive. What happens if I make my shield pink? Fucking... Oh.
Can you?
It makes the cross on the back pink. So the
That's
bit
not
that...
very vibrant.
The
pink.
bit that you, like, never
It's
see.
actually a nice pink.
I was
It
gonna say, I
is.
think that was already like that though, because I was looking at that part of the shield and it didn't really seem to change much.
Okie dokie. Pink dye is really just too dull. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Because I wanted it to be good, but it's kind of...
Threatened my life over it, and yet here we are.
Okay. What about my cape? Nah. Well, I can drop it into storage for now and just keep trying it on other things as they come up. I want it to work for something because it does seem, you know, it seems like it should work with something, but that ain't it so far. I also have this blue dye. Maybe this works on something. Oh, that's much too dark. Don't care for that one little bit.
You can't like preview it first.
No.
Either? That's kind of lame.
No, it's it's pretty lame. No, I don't like that as much as the other one either.
Wasteful. Ooh.
Did it actually do anything with the shield? I don't know what it's doing with the shield. It didn't change the background. Like it's spending it on the shield, but I don't know what it's doing.
It's not doing anything on the shield.
Somehow I'm just picturing your character just pouring dye all over themselves.
Yeah, all the dyes that I've got here are kind of just disappointing in general. That's a shame. There's got to be something that they're good for. It's just not what I have at the moment. Anyway. Next time, meeting with Mistra. Maybe with Gale if we can figure out how to make that work.
Duh.
Otherwise, we're doing it anyway. So.
Okay, we're doing it live.
All right.
Till next time, which is not next week, but the week after.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.